Launch ready for WWE Aftershock in 3, 2, 1. World Wrestling Entertainment Discussion is live. Cue host Owen Finch.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to WWE Aftershock. I'm Owen the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with
Chris.
And today is season 3. Today's actually episode 8. I think I said last episode it was like episode 7, but it wasn't. But I've lost track of the episode numbers. But Chris, we're actually
That one frequently we forget what number it is.
yeah. But Chris, we're actually doing a regular like aftershock and everything like that. We're actually reviewing like the shows. We haven't done that in a while, so it's gonna be back to our traditional format. How do you feel about that? You scared to go back to our traditional format, or are you excited about it?
Terrified.
Well, you're gonna have to get over it because you know, I feel bad for you because the first thing you're gonna actually be like genuinely talking about is gonna break your heart a little bit, but we'll get to it when we get to it. So, but before we talk about any of the shows that took place, obviously I want to talk about Evolve a little bit because Evolve just had the 3rd episode. We didn't really cover it because I think we recorded the show like the day of Evolve's premiere, or not premiere, but the day that the 2nd episode came out. Overall, Evolve's episode 3 was probably the weakest one out of the 3 episodes. This was kind of they're in their kind of flow now type of thing. You didn't really get any of the WWE ID talent this time around either. You got mainly the PC recruits, because I feel like too they haven't signed many people to the ID program yet. I think they've only signed like a good handful of people, so I don't think we're gonna see a lot of WWE ID talent get flushed into the show until they sign a lot of them type of thing. But yeah, we it was main evented by not Stacked. What's the lawyer's name in the fucking faction of the family?
Luca Cristofino.
Yeah, he main evented against Javier Bernal, and they actually had a pretty good match. This week was kind of like an introductory episode to a lot of people. I think we met I think her name is Hayes something, and it was really funny. They were doing like a hype package, and she got like cut off by somebody and then got like squashed afterwards. It was really funny. One thing that kind of sucks is they put Gallus now in Evolve, which kind of sucks for them. They clearly, I think, want to have some talent that's been on NXT TV to kind of help get the talent that haven't been there yet. So Gallus is kind of fallen victim to that. I feel like it's at the point where Gallus should be fucking called up. They've been in like the NXT system, I think, since 2018, because they were in NXT UK and then they went to NXT and now they're going to Evolve, and I feel like they're going to be there a while. I think that's at the. I don't understand why they haven't called them up, especially too, because because last year they did Clash at the Castle in Scotland. They would have gotten over huge there, and like if they had been on the main roster now, they would have been fucking huge in this European tour and everything like that. So I don't know why they don't want to call them up.
I'm surprised like nothing came of it, but like when they were working with The Rock last year, because they were the ones that were getting him in ring shape.
Yeah,
he didn't recommend them to fucking be called up, or I thought that was going to be a shoo-in for them to be called up.
Yeah, because it's also weird because the people they called up in the draft last year, I think only like one of them has really mattered in the draft long term. Because Dijak got called up last year, he fucking quit. And then Kiana James got called up in the draft. I think she's been fucking inactive. And then they released Blair Davenport. She was called up in the draft. There was I don't think I was going to say Odyssey Jones, but he wasn't called up this year. He was called up he was called up in the 2023 draft. There was someone else that was called up in the draft. Oh, Baron Corbin, then he got released. So I don't know why, if they were to keep Gallus around, I don't know why they didn't just fucking call him. And again, you had all these European tours that they've been doing lately. I don't know why they didn't call Gallus up, but Gallus is going to be involved for a little bit. They look pretty good there. I don't know if their faces are heels because the fucking team they wrestled were heels, but they were clearly heelish on this fucking show. They've put, they've done a little storyline with Wendy Chu and Kylie Ray, where it looks like Wendy Chu is trying to recruit Kylie Ray to be like a team with her type of thing, and it's very spooky. They had like a note type of thing, and like she didn't like read it, and then someone else came over and like picked up the notes. So that's interesting, I guess. Brindley Reese showed up for the first time and she beat somebody. But yeah, I like Evolve so far. It definitely reminds me of like I said before, like the early days of the Black and Gold era of NXT, just starting out type of thing, where we're just gonna. I feel like a lot of the people we're gonna meet just gonna be introductory, and all that type of stuff. I like Peter Rosenberg and Mr. Stone together on commentary. I think they were a good fit. They have this new interviewer there. I don't think you've seen him, but like he, you know. I don't know. I don't remember his name, but yeah. So Evolve is a pretty interesting show. I think too. Once once we get titles and stuff like that, because it doesn't seem like this is going to be like Level Up or 205 Live towards the end, where they were just doing it kind of like main event type of thing. It seems like they want to make Evolve like into something type of thing. So we'll see what happens, type of thing. But so far, Evolve's pretty enjoyable. It's pretty easy to watch too, because it's only like an hour. And if you have Tubi, we have to watch it in the States here in Tubi or Tubi. I forget how you say it.
Yeah, you were right.
And it's it's free at least, so that's good. Because I'd be worried if I have to pay for it, because I probably would watch it. I would probably still get it, but like it would be because that's the only thing I'm watching at the moment, because I don't think Tubi. Like I said, I think WWE is probably going to get like a lot of people to get Tubi, because I don't think there's really much else to get offer on. Because now they've posted a lot of their like some NXT episodes on there. They posted, I think, like some level ups on there. So yeah, Evolve's pretty interesting. The only disappointing thing is I don't think Gallus should be on there. I think Gallus needs to be out of the NXT system. But we'll just move on, because I can't really have you give your thoughts on this, because you haven't watched. I don't think you've watched Evolve yet, and I don't think you ever are gonna watch Evolve. So because Chris doesn't do C shows, he doesn't like C shows. He only watches the A fucking shows type of thing.
A fucking show. A and B.
Well, except Dynamite. That's the only A show he doesn't watch. So, but
That's like a Z.
wow, that's worse. But yeah, let's start talking about SmackDown from last week. SmackDown was in Italy last week. They're still continuing their European tour, and this is good because SmackDown, as we were talking about off camera, we got less spoilers this time around for SmackDown. Last week it was filled with spoilers. Like, we had already known the Street Profits won the tag titles. We had already known. That's really the only significant thing that like got spoiled. But pretty much everything on SmackDown you couldn't really avoid spoilers from last week. This week was a little less so, which is interesting because I figured, with the Punk Roman Seth segment. I feel like too, because I knew that was going to happen this time around, I did a better job of avoiding the spoilers. So like we didn't really get many spoilers from SmackDown last week. But yeah, we had the commentary team of Wade Barrett and Joe Tess. This was cool because Joe Tess, I don't think he's from Italy, but like I remember the week before they had mentioned like this was like his home turf, because like he was speaking Italian, and is he like is he?
He is Italian.
Yeah,
Italian there.
So, it showed the wrestlers arrive into the arena in the beginning, like they typically like to do, and Randy Orton came out to do his promo, and he's just getting thunderous reactions there. They're sitting his theme songs and everything like that. They're loving Randy Orton at the moment. And before he could say anything, Kevin Owens interrupts him. And Kevin Owens is being very remorseful and apologizes to Randy Orton because he's had the time to think it over, because he realizes that Randy Orton actually didn't deserve what happened to him. He says with Cody, he felt like Cody stabbed him in the back by teaming up with the Bloodline and everything like that. And he understands why he sided with Cody, because he was kind of trying to play the middleman there and everything like that. But with Sami Zayn, he became like an awful person because he just watched as I got beat down by Cody in that ladder match and everything like that. But with Randy Orton, he realizes that he was wrong, so he says he's going to give him an opportunity where they can just put the beef beside them, and they can just go back to being a tag team and go back to being friends and go after the WWE Tag Team Championships. But Randy Orton doesn't want to go down that path. He's upset about the fact that Kevin Owens took him out and everything like that, and he wants to put him in his place, and he wants to beat the crap out of him at WrestleMania. And that's kind of how the segment ended. We did find out later on in the show that the match was made official for WrestleMania. It's going to be Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. I really like this segment a lot. Kevin Owens, kind of be trying to go back on his word and everything like that, trying to be buddies with Randy Orton was pretty interesting. And I actually think he was genuine here. I don't think it's like the typical heel thing where like he says one thing and then obviously we find out that he doesn't mean it at the end. I kind of like that they didn't really go that approach, because I remember they did that like at WrestleMania 31 with like Randy Orton and like Seth Rollins, and like for weeks Randy Orton like acted like it was on his side, and then like he like turned on him like 2 weeks before Mania and everything like that, and it didn't really make much sense. So I like that they kind of didn't have Randy Orton take that approach, because he wants to kick the crap out of Randy Orton wants to kick the crap out of Kevin Owens and wants to
get the crap out of himself.
Yeah, I guess so. But I like this segment here. It's a good thumbs up. What do you think of this segment? I thought it was good.
I like this segment a lot. It's a very it shows you the true intent. Like Kevin's trying to sweet talk him, because he's probably very scared of Randy Orton, because he's the one that put him out of action, and Randy can go into some very dark places. So he's trying to feign like he's his friend, so he's to beat the crap out of him.
And then we had it cut to a tag team match. It was Damian Priest and Jimmy Uso versus Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke Nakamura. And on fucking sight, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre just go after each other. They just start getting into this brawl. Nakamura's getting into it too, and Jimmy Uso takes this opportunity to hit a big dive onto everybody. And the faces kind of get the advantage throughout the beginning portion of this matchup, but then the heels start getting the heat on Jimmy Uso. They really take it to him and everything like that. And then afterwards, Damian Priest gets the hot tag, and eventually he beats Shinsuke Nakamura with the South of Heaven chokeslam. And then afterwards, he gets beaten down by Drew McIntyre. He kicks the crap out of Damian Priest. He hits a Claymore kick onto him, and he said that this is just going to get worse and worse for Damian Priest until WrestleMania. I like this for the most part. I don't mind them, I guess, going the direction with Damian Priest or Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. They've made the storyline make sense. I just personally think that there was just something better that these two could have done at WrestleMania. I really wish they had taken the Drew McIntyre LA Knight path, since, they had that backlash at the Rumble. I wish they had gone that path instead. You could have probably found something else for Damian Priest to do, but I kind of wished, I think Drew and LA Knight was the better match to go with, especially because if you think about it, they actually have more history than Drew and Damian. I feel like Drew and Damian we've seen a lot, and it just kind of feels like, I feel like Drew and Damian just feels like a step down for Drew also, and everything like that. But overall I like this. I gave this match a good 3 stars. What'd you think of this match and everything like that? And the fact they're going Drew Damian at Mania.
I thought this match was good. The going, and Drew and Damian do have history going back a ways now to when Drew joined the Judgment Day for that War Games match. And he also pinned him last year at WrestleMania for the title. But after he cashed in, I don't know. I'd rather. There's a lot more intrigue between Drew and LA Knight for sure. That I think they should have went in sort of that direction instead.
Yeah. Would you give the match as a star rating?
3. It was a good match.
And then Braun Strowman's backstage. He's gonna face Jacob. I almost said Jacob Cass. I don't.
There we go.
The fucking 2K wrestler from WWE 12. I almost said Jacob Cass, but no, he's gonna face Jacob Fatu. I feel like Jacob Fatu would fucking murder me if I fucking got his name wrong. But he's gonna face Jacob Fatu. And LA Knight comes up to him and says that that he saved him last week, and he thanks Braun Strowman for saving him and everything like that. But he says that if you need my help tonight, I'm there. And then Braun Strowman mentions that whoever wins between I almost did it again. Between Jacob Fatu. Jacob Cass, the most overpowered wrestler in WWE video games, where you got fucking put through the Hell in a Cell through the announce table, put through the fucking cage and everything like that. It was fucking fine. That's
perfectly okay.
Yeah. That was the weirdest WCW invasion. It was like fucking Kevin Nash leading it with like the Legion of Doom, and no, it was Action Smash, I think, actually. No, it was the Legion of Doom. It was the Legion of Doom, and then fucking it was weird. They had Kevin Nash do it, but they didn't put. Well, I was gonna say they didn't put Scott Hall in the game, but I don't think they could that year. So I don't know. It was so weird that storyline. I know they did fucking War Games, but they didn't call it War Games. It was like a 6-man Hell in a Cell match, and like there wasn't two. It was so weird. Yeah, so I remember they turned fucking Ray heel randomly too for no reason, even though he was beaten up by those guys like fucking every week, and he just fucking went heel for no reason. I remember they tried to do that. Remember they tried to do in the chamber that mystery person that was gonna be the match. It was like they like blacked out the fucking part. You could totally tell that was fucking Rey Mysterio. Yo, it was so weird. Anyhow, yeah, but Braun Strowman says that. The match between Jacob Fatu and him the winner of that will face LA Knight for the men's United States Championship. Because you have to be specific on that, Chris, now, because we have two U.S. championships, so we have to be specific on that. And I'm gonna hold you to that. It's gonna be the Raw and SmackDown tag team title fucking debates all over again, and you're gonna fucking hate me on this show every week. So, yeah. So that was kind of that. What do you think of this backstage segment?
I liked it.
Then we had a face-off between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, where they were both in separate parts of the arena, and they did like the split screen. This face-off was not good. A lot of it was just Charlotte Flair burying Tiffany Stratton and not really letting Tiffany Stratton talk. And this definitely didn't do any favors for Tiffany Stratton as a babyface. Charlotte Flair talked about like how she came back and won the Rumble, and mentions that like Tiffany Stratton is just a copycat version of Charlotte Flair. All these people that try to get inspiration from Charlotte Flair. And Tiffany Stratton mentions if you feel this way, like, why did you pick me at WrestleMania? And Charlotte Flair that she picked her because Tiffany Stratton begged her to, and she says that she's going to win at WrestleMania, and Tiffany Stratton's just going to fade into obscurity. Tiffany Stratton mentions that Charlotte Flair just tries to leech herself on like a sponge onto the new hardest thin and just kill it, so that way she can stay relevant. And she said that she's going to defeat Charlotte Flair and retain her championship at WrestleMania. Nothing that really anything that they said here came off really bad. I guess it just. This segment just did a lot of damage to Tiffany Stratton, especially with her face run, because her face run hasn't been very good. And this segment, I think, didn't really help that. Especially, I feel like the segment's going to look even worse if Charlotte Flair wins at Mania. But yeah, this segment for me was a thumbs down. What'd you think of this segment? I didn't like it.
I didn't like it at all. I felt like it was just a burial of Tiffany Stratton. I saw that it was supposed to be like a sink or swim kind of moment for her, and it didn't really setting her up right, that it's having Charlotte fucking bury her on the mic every chance she can get. I don't like it. It's just really, in the end too, I think it's going to cause Tiffany to lose a lot of fan support, and I think she's going to go back heel sooner rather than later. Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked if they did a double turn at Mania, honestly, because it's really tough too. It was really tough too because no one really likes Charlotte either, type of thing. So, like, I don't really think a lot of people are going to even like it if they do a double turn. So, I feel like Tiffany Stratton's definitely going to go back to being a heel, like you said, sooner rather than later, type of thing. So, we'll see what happens. And then we had the men's United States Championship #1 contenders match. It was Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman. This was a really good stiff big man match. Braun Strowman did a really good tackle to Jacob Fatu over the announcer's table. He tried to do one earlier, but Jacob Fatu moved out of the way. And Jacob Fatu was just destroying Braun Strowman throughout much of this match. And then eventually the match spills down into chaos. The Bloodline tries to interfere. And Solo Sikoa hits a Samoan spike onto Braun Strowman, and the referee sees this, and this causes a disqualification. So the Bloodline's beating down on Braun Strowman, and then LA Knight runs out to make the save, and Braun Strowman and LA Knight fight off the Bloodline, and I like that there was. I like that the only reason they fought him off too was because there was obviously this moment where Solo and Fatu had miscommunication because Fatu got upset with Solo that he cost him this match, and yeah, because of this, Braun Strowman gets the men's United States Championship match next week. I actually like that they went that well, because typically when they do a DQ, usually they both get the shot. So I like that they actually stuck to that because now that's obviously going to get the feud over more between Solo and Fatu because. As I'll talk about later, the reason Solo says that he did this was obviously because it looked like Jacob Fatu was in trouble, which was kind of true, but it really wasn't true because Fatu looked like he was doing relatively all right. He was kind of in trouble for like a couple seconds, but not long enough where like I don't think Solo really needed to go out there. I actually like that this also protects Fatu. It hurts him from having to take a loss, and this continues the dissension between Jacob Fatu and because they haven't really done anything with it because obviously the past few weeks it's been just kind of Solo really accepting Jacob Fatu, but now it's kind of really taking another level and it gets scary later on in the show. But what did you think of this? I gave the match 3.5 stars. I thought it was really good. I feel like if this match had a proper winner, I would have probably liked it more, but I liked what they were going for with that DQ win and everything like that because it gets Jacob Fatu to hate Solo even more. But what'd you think of this?
I liked it. Yeah, Solo is gonna get his head fucking kicked in soon enough. It's a problem because Jacob is gonna fucking massacre him.
Yeah.
We might be seeing the end of Solo Sikoa.
And then after this, we had that backstage segment where Jacob Fatu's fucking pissed. He's fucking throwing shit around. He's not just throwing like trash barrels and stuff. He takes a fucking like concrete wooden block and he picks this up like nothing and like throws this down. Like this is a scary fucking man right here. And he's upset at Solo that he went out there when he didn't really feel like he needed him. And Solo said like, I thought you needed me. I was just trying to help you. And Jacob Fatu says basically kind of tells him like to stay out of his business type of thing. And this is it's not good for Solo. What do you think of this backstage segment? This was very scary.
Oh, he's horrifying. Horrifying.
I don't think Solo's going to come out of this the other side looking good. Do you think this is going to be used to debut Hikuleo finally? Like that will be the new heavy of the Bloodline, like whatever happens with Jacob type of thing. I feel like the SmackDown after Mania, not Jacob Fatu, Hikuleo is going to debut and like take out Jacob Fatu and like join this version of the Bloodline and everything like that. Do you think that's going to happen, or do you think that's not going to happen?
I mean, it could potentially happen. I could see it, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. But this is going to be scary for somebody, and Solo's got to figure this out because if he doesn't make amends with Jacob Fatu, I think he's going to be in the hospital for a long time. Do you think that's going to happen?
He will.
Do you want this to happen? Because how do you feel about Solo? Because you're not a big fan of Solo from the the Bloodline feud, but now that that's kind of over, now he's not really calling himself Tribal Chief anymore. How do you kind of feel about Solo these days?
Yeah, it is what it is. He still hasn't acknowledged his Tribal Chief yet.
No, they never did that.
They seemingly dropped that fucking story.
Because The Rock wasn't available like they thought he was going to be. So, and maybe doesn't, but whatever. Plus, Roman's got bigger things as we'll talk about in the show to fucking worry about. So, Then we had Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez get interviewed. They talk about how they're upset with Jade Cargill because she never came clean about who really attacked her. They let her take the blame. She could have gone on like Instagram and given her like an update and stuff because she went and updated other things. And she said that she's gonna beat Jade Cargill. This interview was very bad and just didn't really make much sense. What you think of this? This was not good.
This is not good. It's not good.
And then we had Piper Niven with Chelsea Green and Elba Fire inside versus Zelina Vega. This match was very mid in the beginning. The crowd was very quiet, which is saying a lot because the crowd was very loud for this show until this match happened. And also just kind of, it didn't really feel like Zelina Vega and Piper Niven were really on the same page throughout much of this match. You could definitely tell Zelina Vega had been out of the ring for a little bit because she looked very clunky in this match. And then Piper Niven won with the Black Hole Slam. Yeah, that was it. This match was like 2.25 stars. It got a little excited towards the end, but this match was it also didn't help. This match went a long time too. Because it went. I thought this match was going to be like a few minutes, and then it went like a long time. It was like, yeah, this match is way too fucking long. I could have done without this match on the show. I didn't need this. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I agree. It was average, and it was far too long.
Yeah. Could have fucking been spending time on other things like a good fucking tribal chief, but no, we gotta fucking waste our time on this shit. But no. Then we had a mystery vignette. I believe this is like the one. This is because we have two vignettes on this show, and one's pretty obvious who it is. But I'm pretty sure this is the one with like the number 4 and like showing like a bunch of darkness and everything like that. I'm obviously very interested in this vignette. I'm pretty sure I know who this is. But I'm really excited, that they're doing these vignettes, and I can't wait to see this person show up. What do you think of this?
Love it. Love it. We'll find out who it is. We'll find out who it is after WrestleMania.
Maybe he'll just never date. Maybe this person will never debut. He'll be like Veer Mahan. Remember before weeks we got the Veer Mahan vignette saying he was coming to Raw.
Oh yeah.
Remember he came to Raw and then like he went away again for like a while and then was type of thing.
He keeps coming and he keeps disappearing. Although he's not coming anymore.
No, he's gone. He's long gone.
He's a celibate monk. So there'll be no more coming for him.
No. Then we had Liv Morgan with Raquel Rodriguez versus it's supposed to say Jade Cargill, but for some reason I wrote Jake Cargill on my notes. So this, I don't know what was going on. I don't know what was going on. I can't seem to get anybody's name right today. Fucking Jacob Cass, fucking Jake Cargill, fucking Randy Orton's beating himself up. So it's not a good day to be somebody's name today because I'm just gonna get it wrong. So, what do you think of the new wrestler Jake Cargill? You like Jake Cargill, or would you prefer Jade Cargill?
Jade, please.
Okay, but this I remember I said a week ago I didn't think this match was going to be very good, and I was pretty wrong. This match ended up being pretty good. It was pretty back and forth. Jade Cargill dominated like the beginning portions of it, like really took Liv Morgan to school, and then Liv Morgan actually got some offense in, and Jade Cargill had to do some selling. I'm pretty sure this is like the most selling that Jade Cargill's like ever done in her wrestling career, because this is really her first like singles match where she's had to wrestle for this amount of time. Because in AEW, the longest singles match I think she had there was when she wrestled Athena. I'm pretty sure, and then. That match ended up being pretty good too. But I don't think she had to do a lot of selling in that match either, because she was the heel in that match and like the dominant woman type of thing. So we got this match here. Eventually, Naomi runs interference, and she, behind the ref's back, clocks Jade with the women's tag team title, which I thought was a nice touch since, she ended up taking Jade's place as the tag team champions. And, like, she's the one, Naomi's actually the one that lost the tag titles and everything like that. And Liv hits the Oblivion for the win. And afterwards, Naomi beats up Jade Cargill. And she's pretty much fully in heel mode now, because obviously when she was on a couple weeks ago, she was not really in that heel mode yet. She was more like emotional here, but now she's definitely full on in heel mode. And yeah, I was pretty interested in this. We're clearly gonna get Naomi versus Jade Cargill at Mania, and I'm pretty into that. But yeah, what'd you think of this? I thought this was a good match. I give it 3 stars.
It's a good match too. It is a good match. Yeah, the interest level for me leading into it could improve, but against Naomi, I mean, it could draw me in. There is reason for it to draw me in, but as of right now, there's just nothing in the story that intrigues me.
That's fair. And then we had Drew McIntyre get interviewed, and he says that every week that he sees Damian Priest, he's just going to beat him up. But if you want to stop this, you could just meet me in the ring. So let's hope this stops. And then he walked by Seth Rollins, and obviously this was tense because they have a history together. So this was tense. What'd you think of this?
Very tense.
Yeah.
It was tense.
And then we had the Street Profits come out to kind of promo. Unfortunately, they're not... they're back to the 2K24 theme song. The song that they had for like 2 weeks where they talk... you know, there's a lyric in that song when you say... it's actually really funny. When you see smoke, you know there's fire in the building. It's a good lesson to learn, I guess. When you see smoke, that means there's fire in the fucking building, I guess. So
I wouldn't have known.
I guess not. Which is weird because you see smoke other places. What if you see smoke outside? Does that mean there's fire? Does that still mean there's fire in the building? How does that fucking work? I don't understand that. You know,
it's gotta mean that.
Yeah, I mean that's, and like you said, it's Def Rebel. Even though it's not really Def Rebel, but it's like they have to have the fucking catchphrase in the theme song 20 times because the whole fucking chorus is "We want smoke." I bet I already knew they wanted smoke, but I guess it's really true because they have to fucking say it in the theme song about 20 times. So that's good. This is just really disappointed they went back to this theme song because it doesn't even fit them now either because they're not heels anymore. I know they're more aggressive and everything now, but like they're kind of out of that fucking phase now because they got the tag titles. Like they weren't even aggressive at all when they came out here and everything like that, and like it just, I feel like the song's worse too, like because this is not the same song they had like back in 2024. It's like they've like made it worse somehow. What do you think of the fact that they went back to the 2K24 theme? I'm fucking pissed.
They should have just left it alone. I'm not, but I don't hate the theme, but it just doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't know. Their other theme song is classic.
But they come out, they have a really good speech where they talk about how, like, for 4 years, they struggled to become the WWE Tag Team Champions, and doubt started to creep into them, and they say that they weren't really sure if they were really as good of a team as they thought they were. They were questioning even breaking up and everything like that, which is good that Shawn wasn't booking them, like, because 2023, Shawn would have fucking broken them up because they wouldn't win championships and stuff. So he's like, yeah, we got to break you guys up. He says that the tag team titles means that the wait was worth it and everything like that. And then Legado del Fantasma come out, and they remind them that they have unfinished business because you guys bought it about the fact that we were the ones that took you out and prevented you to get the title match, and we have to settle this score. And then Pretty Deadly come out and say that the Los Garzas don't deserve to have a tag title match because they're the number one contenders and everything like that. And the Street Profits say, like, if you want the smoke, just come get it. And Los Garzas tell him to step aside. And I guess Pretty Deadly stepped aside. They're like, okay, you can take this. I guess because it wasn't a title match, they were cool with this type of thing. They just wanted to come out and make sure this wasn't a title match type of thing, which is pretty funny. But they had a match, and this match was really excellent. I give it like 3 3/4 stars. It was very good. There's a spot that's very divisive in this match that a lot of people have fought about over social media and stuff, where Los Lotharios went to throw Montez Ford like off of the turnbuckles, and he landed on his feet. And obviously this spot's been very divisive because some people have loved this spot, some people have hated this spot. I actually really like this spot. It didn't really bother me too much. But how did you feel about the spot? Are you on the other side of the fence?
I loved it. I thought it was great. Yeah, it was amazing. I thought like their facial expressions made it way better. It was awesome. I loved it. But
yeah, I guess just some people just don't like spots like that. So but I thought it was fine. I feel like too because we don't see it. And we didn't see it in every match on the show type of thing. And the fact that it wasn't one of those things. Yeah, they let the spot play out and everything like that type of thing. So I was fine with it. The Street Profits ended up getting the win with the the sky high into the frog splash, and they would take. Well, it was a title match, but they won. I was fine with that. What did you think of this match? I thought it was very good.
I thought it was a really good match too. Yeah, I thought it was fantastic.
And how do you feel about everyone that hated this spot with Montez Ford and stuff? You want to say anything to them, or do you want to just leave it alone?
How come it's okay for one company to do it, but not another company to do it?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. We got a confirmation about it's been speculated the past few weeks, but we find out who one of the other vignettes is. It's clearly Rey Fenix, because Rey Fenix, you could just tell this is Rey Fenix by his attire and everything like that, and he's getting a nice vignette. I like this, I'm looking forward to see what Rey Fenix does. I don't know if this means that Rey Fenix and Penta are going to just be singles, and then maybe they'll come together as a team. I'm really not sure, because obviously they never... It's really tough to tell, because in companies they're always a team, or in some companies they're not a team, because I'm pretty sure in Lucha Underground I don't think they ever teamed up that much. They just kind of did the singles thing, and then obviously in AEW they were a team. In MLW they were singles for the most part, and then in
competing with each other.
Yeah, and then in AAA they were always a team. So. What do you think of this is confirmation right here that Rey Fenix is one of the vignettes? Were you thrilled about it? Were you fucking pissed?
Loved it. It's gonna be very interesting to see what he does on his own, but I love to see it.
I mean, do you actually think he is gonna be on his own, or do you think we're gonna there'll be a segment maybe after WrestleMania where Penta would get beat down and Rey Fenix would make the save? Or do you think they're just gonna do their own thing and then maybe come together later?
I think right now, because they're only airing on SmackDown, I think that's the direction. But I think eventually in the future they will link up.
We'll see. And then Pretty Deadly's backstage, and we find out DIY come up to him and they mention, that they have that Pretty Deadly have a tag title match next week, which makes sense because obviously it's in London and they're from London, so it makes that does make sense why they got the title shot type of thing after DIY and the Street Profits match, and. DIY mentioned, that we could bring this alliance back that we have together and everything like that again. We can help you guys win the WWE Tag Team Championships, and then you guys can give us our rightful rematch and everything like that. And Pretty Deadly says, "No, boy." So they're not into this alliance and everything like that. And DIY is obviously pissed about this because they really wanted to get the titles back, and I think they were thinking probably Pretty Deadly would be an easier team for them to beat than the Street Profits. So it doesn't look like that happens. And then the Motor City Machine Guns come up to him and say, that this is really unfortunate for them because now they're in the back of the line just like Motor City Machine Guns are, and they said they're going to see each other. They're going to see each other real soon. So not good to be a DIY fan and stuff because they're not really getting anything that they want. So how'd you feel about this backstage segment? I kind of think DIY deserved what happened to them.
Yeah, because they're fucking mean.
I mean, they were kind of trying to be nice here, give DIY, because I'm obviously just making speculations. Maybe they're actually being genuine, but I do think that they only wanted Pretty Deadly to help them because they think that Pretty Deadly is an easier team to beat. But maybe I could be wrong there. Maybe they actually were being genuine. What do you think? Or do you think they weren't being genuine?
I think they're being ungenuine.
Oh, okay. What about Motor City Machine Guns coming in there and putting them in their place?
Genuine as fuck.
Huh?
Genuine as fuck.
But did you like them putting them in their place, or would you have preferred DIY got the better of them there?
DIY deserve to get put in their place.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. And then we had the main event segment of the show, which everyone was really looking forward to. Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman come out, and Roman Reigns mentions that about a month ago, CM Punk cost him the Royal Rumble match, and Seth Rollins tried to end his career. So he wants something to be done about this. So he calls one of them out to do something about it. And Seth Rollins comes out first, and he mentions that Roman Reigns cost him an opportunity to get rid of CM Punk and ruin his path to WrestleMania. And he mentions that him and Roman have a lot of history together, and he says that we need to finally finish this. But CM Punk comes out, and he really cooks. Figuratively, anyways. I don't think he wasn't actually cooking, type of thing.
You sure? He could have been.
I mean, he could have been. This wasn't a long segment, so he could have been cooking something backstage. Let's hope that wasn't the case though, because there could have been a fire backstage if the segment went too long, type of thing. So also it's like an easy bake oven. It could have been an easy bake oven that CM Punk was using. You never know. But he talks about how Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins have never beaten him without the other's help, which if you think about that, that's very true. And
it is.
CM Punk also mentions the fact that Roman Reigns is just being a crybaby because in the Royal Rumble, it's every man for himself, and your wise man should have clued you in on that. And then he mentions to Seth Rollins that he's just had enough of Seth Rollins, and he says that, all they are is just blockage to get to his path of WrestleMania. And he mentions that Paul Heyman still owes him a favor, and Roman Reigns gives Paul Heyman like a look, like he doesn't know what he's talking about. And CM Punk uses this opportunity to attack Roman Reigns from behind. So there might be something to that type of thing. And everyone just kind of gets into a brawl. Seth and Punk get into a brawl, and Roman and Punk get into a brawl. Roman and Seth, and someone would stand tall and point at the Mania sign and stuff. And I like that in this brawl, no one really got the advantage on the other. Everyone just kind of got to fighting and everything like that. And it was very brutal. And we find out of this that we got a triple threat match at Mania out of this, which we had speculated was going to happen. It's going to be Punk, Seth, and Roman. I'm really excited for this triple threat match at WrestleMania. A lot of people had said this triple threat match is like really fucking thrown together. It just doesn't make sense. But if you fucking watch the shows, they've actually been building this triple threat match very well, I think. And I think when we come out of this might be like one of the best like triple threat matches. Like if we did like a top 10 list of triple threat matches, I would be very shocked if this match after this isn't on the list. Because a lot of people, don't really like. Some people don't like triple threat matches, like in general, as like a concept, which I don't understand. Because some of the best fucking matches at WrestleMania has been like triple threat matches, and I just don't. I feel like people are just being babies when it comes to that shit. Like they just need to stop. But what did you think of this segment here? I thought it was awesome, and I feel like we're gonna get a kick-ass triple threat match at WrestleMania type of thing.
Kick-ass triple threat at Mania, and.
Oh, you might have to speak again because I think it got cut off in the beginning.
It's going to be kick-ass at WrestleMania. Just from everything makes sense in they all have interwoven history with each other. If you've watched the show for years, you would know that. They were Seth and Roman and Mox were brought in to specifically protect CM Punk. He brought them into WWE, essentially. Yeah, it just they've always had interwoven history with each other. The Shield would feud with Punk almost all the time,
Yes.
as a favor to the Authority, and now it's you get the triple threat where it's the three of them together. This has potential to be one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. Three of the biggest stars this company's ever produced. Two homegrown, one not homegrown. Actually, two out of the three not homegrown.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns being the homegrown guy, and Seth and Punk being from the Indies. But Seth kind of was homegrown a little bit because he spent a lot of time in the PC and in NXT and whatnot. So he was kind of, but he had made a name for himself before that. But two out of the three were indie guys. Roman obviously being the outlier, being the former football player, turned absolute fucking cash cow and megastar. And this has potential to be a moneymaker for this company. Three fucking great merch sellers. And that will be your main event for WrestleMania Night 1. 100%.
I think it has to be at this point. Yeah, like
because I think Cena Cody is main event night 2.
Yeah. This match has all the story behind it to do main event of night 1, and again, it goes back to because as you'll talk about probably when we review Raw, I think that's the favor that CM Punk's going to ask for. He's going to try to get Heyman to make this the main event of night 1, which I think will be really intriguing type of thing. And the intrigue that could come out of this match too, also like with whoever wins, because obviously, we'll see what happens. Depending on the thing, but they could, if Punk wins, there's some intrigue. If Rollins wins, there's even more intrigue. I feel obviously the least intriguing I think if Roman wins, because I don't really think much story really happens if Roman wins, but we'll see. Maybe there's something that can come out of it, but I think the more intriguing thing is if Punk or Seth win, because you can get a lot of storyline out of that and everything like that type of thing. So, but yeah, that was SmackDown. I thought SmackDown was pretty strong. I'll probably give it a B plus. If it was just in America, it probably would have just been a solid B. But the crowd reactions throughout the show was awesome, so it bumps it up to a B plus. But you had some good moments. The Roman, Seth segment was good. The Randy segment was good. The tag match with Damian Priest and Jimmy Uso and stuff was good. I liked the stuff they're doing further in. The scariness of Jacob Fatu. I'm just scared of that man. And then obviously the Liv Morgan Jade Cargill match was good. The only real weak segment of the show was that Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton face off and the Zelina Vega Piper Niven match. And then the fucking fact that the Street Profits lost their theme song. That's a shit. Didn't someone else just lose their theme song on this show too? And I fucking forget it. I think someone else did recently. I don't remember who it was, but yeah. What did you think of SmackDown from last week? Did you like this show?
Yeah, I give it a B plus. I thought it was a very good show. Obviously, the main event was what people were looking forward to. Yeah, I thought it was a very, very, very good show.
And now you're gonna take us through Raw from this past week, which let's hope you have those fucking notes ready, because you had fucking 47 minutes to get those ready, so let's hope you did.
Oof. Sad times are ahead. So
yeah, you gotta talk. The first segment's not gonna be easy for you to talk about.
Very tearjerker. They were in Glasgow, Scotland at the OVO Hydro, and Michael Cole and Pat McAfee was back this week. Back from his little hiatus, took back to the commentary table. He had a kilt, pretty cool.
How come he couldn't be on last week? They had said why, but why couldn't he be on last week?
I forget why. Honestly, I don't even know why. So we start the show, and right away you can tell that that Cena was going to go first because they have the really long pause.
Yes, they did.
Where nothing happens, and so John comes out and to the tune again of John Cena sucks because he's a very evil, he's soulless man.
Yes, he is.
And he was more soulful this week though. He didn't look as drained as he was last week. But he basically just rants about the more of the same that he did last week. No one's safe anymore. He's putting them all on blast.
Even you.
Lots of fuck you Cena chants, which is interesting in a lot of ways because they just gave up censoring about after the third chant.
Yes, they did.
That was so funny. He basically bragged about making money off of them, and then he talks about how he's going to kill wrestling by walking away at the end of the year as a champion, and then taking the title in the legacy with him. Yeah, it was very. He also talked about the spinner belt. He named exactly what it was too when the spinner belt was instituted, and he said that it was met with nothing but ridicule and vitriol and hatred, and it was, and he wasn't wrong because it was. They hated it, but for sure they kept it. And he said that they would by him becoming the 17-time world champion, that they'll make them forget about Ric Flair. And oh boy, Rick is gonna have a conniption, because he's gonna say, "Oh, it's 21 times actually."
I would like it if they make that a segment when he comes out and actually says that it's not 17, it's 21 type of thing. I would like it if they made that a segment one week and they find a way to Cena finds a way to heal himself out of that type of thing.
Yeah, that would actually be kind of funny. But he says he's going to be. Cena said he's going to be the last real champion in WWE, and he's going to take it home with him, and the legacy is going to be gone. And he is about to walk out, and then Cody comes out, huge mega babyface pop.
People love this man.
He's amazing. What an amazing human being.
Was it this week you shared the thing that it's just insane to think that like he was getting the heel reactions in AEW and it chased him away to be like the fucking mega babyface. Like I mean we talk about this off camera, I think. Not as much now because obviously we haven't had to, but like every fucking week, I think, in like until he finished his story, we talked about like how much AEW fans just did not appreciate this man.
No, they didn't. They did not at all.
Because if you like we said, the presentation of fucking Cody has not fucking changed. Like it's the exact same presentation, and he's fucking adored.
Yeah, he is adored. But the crowd is just in love with Cody, and he asked, they're singing for him, and Cody asked them if this upsets him because John now suddenly hates the crowd, and he roasts John again, and then John leaves. Doesn't look. Before that they squared off. Cody laid the belt in between them, and they want to fight. Cody goes to take off some of his suit attire, his tie and everything, and it looks like they're about to go, but I forgot. Always back down. Never back down doesn't exist anymore. Always back down is here, and he ends up leaving, which, John's never ever done that before in his life, ever back down from a fight. Now he's a fucking pussy, so he has to now. And Cody did the respectable thing too when he went in the ring. He didn't stand on the towel. I would have fucking
rub my fucking feet on that thing. And then he grabs his towel and he leaves. Looks like he's about to cry again. And Cody starts calling for John to come back and fight, essentially. And he doesn't. He just continues walking away. He does the heel thing, which every heel does ever in WWE, which is I'm going to fake like I'm going to go back to the ring, but I'm not going to actually go back to the ring. And he turns around and walks out, and then Cody comes up looking like the conquering hero. I thought this opening segment was very good. It's a lot of the same from last week, where John brought up the kid. He went up to another kid in the crowd during his entrance and fucking stared at him like a fucking evil supervillain. That wasn't very nice. And then Cody went over and approached that kid like the very fucking good, awesome human being that he is. Role model hero. It was more of the same, and yeah, I loved it. I thought this segment was a little bit better than last week's segment. I like the fact that John said that he was going to end the year as champion and he was going to take the legacy with him, and that really upset Cody. So yeah, I really did like this segment.
I did too. I'm liking heel Cena at the moment. The fact that he's just like turned the script and he hates the fans now all of a sudden type of thing. And the fact that he said that he's going to take the championship with him and retire, I think that's going to be a good story where, he's going to stay, he's going to be the champion and he's going to try to like leave with a belt. And I think, that's going to lead to some really good storytelling if they actually have Cena win the belt at Mania. A big match that's obviously going to be money, I think, will be Punk Cena, obviously, because now the roles will be reversed where Cena's the one trying to leave with the belt, and now Punk's the one that's going to defend the company type of thing. That's going to be a real money-making program. And obviously, I hope they can make that work where they can do that match of Money in the Bank, because that will be a really full circle moment if they can get that match done. And yeah, I really like this segment. It was a little bit the same from last week. I kind of hope next week, when they have Cena there, they don't do the same segment again. I kind of hope it's a little bit different. But yeah, I'm liking heel Cena at the moment. We still haven't gotten any explanation. He hasn't mentioned The Rock really at all type of thing. So I kind of hope we get that pretty soon. But yeah, heel Cena I'm really liking right now. And yeah, he's going to ruin wrestling. How do you feel about that, Chris? The guy that would defend WWE is going to ruin professional wrestling for you. Or try to.
It's very upsetting that he would do this. This is not the hero that I grew up watching. This is some fucking soulless, grumpy old man who's so unpassionate and just so old and grumpy.
Yeah. And he even like he played with your emotions too. He talked about all these things that like he would do and made feel like he's been playing you all these years. For 20 years he's been playing you. How do you feel like you've been played by John Cena? He's been playing with your emotions for over 20 years.
It's still tough. Those poor kids.
You're one of them. You've been a pawn in his game for over 20 years. And no one's ever gonna let him and me and everyone else is never gonna let you hear the end of it. Like, I'm gonna show your family this promo, and they're never gonna let you hear the end of the fact that you've been a pawn in John Cena's game for over 20 years.
But we have a new conquering hero, a respectable man.
He could be playing you too, though. Is that making?
He wears suits. He looks. He loves the little kids in the crowd. They fucking love him.
How do you feel about?
That's their hero.
How do you feel about the storyline pitch that's probably crushing you? That's Chris is trying to play this like now Cody could do it out of it. He could be the syndrome out of the Incredibles type of thing. Do you not want? Does it hurt you to read those words that Steve posts in the chat?
I don't take any of that.
Huh?
I don't know anymore. This man has crushed me in so much I can't even think.
But anyhow, the segment was very strong, but I think the segment broke Chris's heart even more than. This is going to continue. You know, the last run of John Cena's career is going to turn into a nightmare for you. By the way,
It already is.
I don't even think this is. You know what the funny thing is?
I have to pinch myself every day
He might not even
to see
be.
if this is real life.
He might not even be retiring after all of this too. He might be fucking continue. He might say like, no one was able to take this from me. I'm not going anywhere. Like no one can hang with him. He might not even be that might even be a lie too. That he might not even be retiring.
Just it's heartbreaking.
But yeah, let's get to you got some joy after this. You wanted to.
Speaking of not heartbreaking, so they showed from the week prior that little fucking pissant piece of shit, fucking ungrateful fucking son piece of shit, interfering in the Intercontinental Championship match, encroaching Finn Balor in his fucking testicles, his ball sack on the fucking top rope.
Which IC belt? Because you got to be specific about that now.
Which one do you think they're going for?
The men's.
The women's?
I mean, you don't know.
Why would Finn Balor be competing for the Women's Intercontinental Championship?
I mean, you don't know. Maybe he wants that championship, you know, that they can be, China wrestled for the men's championship. Why can't Finn go for the women's one?
Because it's two men fighting for a men's championship. And it led to Finn Balor losing. Because Dom's a piece of shit. But later on in the main event, it set up, because Penta made the save the week prior, it set up that Intercontinental title match between Penta and Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
And then, one of the greatest moments on the show, one of three.
Well, there was a backstage segment with Judgment Day before this.
Yeah, they don't matter.
Okay.
But yeah, they were basically in their clubhouse, and Carlito hinted at the fact that he wanted to become Intercontinental Champion again, and then I think it was douchebag asked for an apple, and he basically told him no, which was funny. And he's just pussy whipped at this point. Douchey Dom.
Because he's trying to get Penta to join the Judgment Day, and like Penta's even like, Dom's even like, well, I don't think Finn accepts him and stuff, and Liv's trying to say like, well, at first Finn didn't accept me, and look how great that turned out, type of thing. So maybe he'll change his mind on Penta.
But they're completely ignoring the fact that he beat the shit out of him last week.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Like, didn't Penta super kick your dumb fucking mustache off your face last week?
By the way, that clubhouse, is starting to not look as good. Remember how great that clubhouse used to look when Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley were in the Judgment Day?
Oh, yeah. They made it look awesome. 2K was in the background. It was cool. Now it's like, ugh, here's this fucking bland room for a piece of shit.
Do you think...
and his dumb whore girlfriend in the cuck.
Do you think... do you even think they have the newest game right now? Because obviously...
No. They haven't played in weeks.
I thought I guess they didn't get like the pre-order and stuff. I guess they didn't do that. I guess they didn't.
Well, Carlito needed money for it. Apparently, he was asking them for money for the pre-order, and they didn't give it to him.
I like that they don't just get a free copy like Woods does and all that type of stuff. So that's
you got to pay for it.
Yeah, they don't get a free copy.
Real people.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Jey Uso, main event, Jey Uso makes his entrance. And as he's pumping the crowd up, who comes out? Big Jim, who was yeeting all over the place. Jimmy Uso.
Yes, he was.
The Usos return their first tag team action since Civil War.
Yeah, we watched that together.
2 years ago?
Yeah, about that time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2023.
Yeah. Well, it's the first
so
time
2
they've.
years ago.
That's the first time like they've teamed together, like just
Yes.
themselves.
Not as because the War Games and Crown Jewel, but like as the Usos as a tag team. This is the first time that they've teamed together in 2 years.
It's insane. Yeah.
The crowd went absolutely fucking ballistic for them. They were even introduced as the Usos too. So that was really cool. I popped hard for that. People were saying it was going to be Joe Hendry, and I was like, that would make sense because they're in Glasgow. But I honestly didn't expect Jimmy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was thinking Sammy too, because of that friendship and stuff, and that'd be a cool way for Sammy to finally return, type of thing. Because we haven't seen Sammy since Elimination Chamber. But
and Jimmy didn't come out to his entrance. He was just like, he basically had come out to the old, not the old, like the kind of like the old Usos theme.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, by the way, on SmackDown, because the ring announcer's different now. Alicia Taylor was the ring announcer for SmackDown because she was the ring announcer here for Raw. I assume it's not going to stay this way once they go back to the States. I assume because they're on tour, they're just going to have Alicia Taylor just be the ring announcer for the rest of the tour.
Because Lillian's done until they have a special. She'll probably be back for WrestleMania and Saturday Night's Main Event, but in the meantime, her full-time run has come to an end again.
If I had to make a prediction, I'm going to guess Mike Rome's going to be the SmackDown guy, probably, type of thing.
Or he'll be Raw. It depends on what they do, because I think they said that Alicia's going to move over to SmackDown again.
Yeah, so I think Alicia could do SmackDown, Mike Rome will do Raw, and then either Blake Howard or Sarah Schreiber are going to do NXT. Because Blake Howard does the ring announcing sometimes. I don't even know if you know who that is, but he does the ring announcing sometimes.
Didn't he do two? He did. Was he 205 Live and Level Up?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I know who that is.
But yeah, I could see him doing the ring announcing for NXT. And then yeah, I could just see that how that all goes. Because now Kelly Kincaid, I think that's the biggest thing too. Because Kelly Kincaid's back, so they have an interviewer on hand now in NXT. And obviously too, they didn't want to put Mike Rome as the first ring announcer after Samantha Irvin left, because that's just setting them up to fail. Because everyone would have that would have been a huge downgrade for everybody else and everything like that. And that's that's a tough spot for him to fill. In a literal sense. No, I'm sorry. In a figurative sense, not a literal sense. I actually fucked it up and said a literal sense when I didn't mean it that way. But,
literal, because she's huge.
Yeah, but, I think Mike Rome now can fill that spot because people will accept it now, type of thing. Because Samantha Irvin's been gone a good enough amount of time. I think probably a lot of people have forgotten. Well, I say a lot of people have forgotten about her, but then she does something right away that makes people remember. So I can't believe. So right away.
Forgot once again.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be a ring announcer crew across all three brands.
Yeah, I think that make the most sense. They start yeeting. They don't know when to go to commercial break. That was the funniest part. They thought they were going to a commercial break, but they weren't. They came back, and they're like, "Oh, I guess it's not a commercial break then." That was very funny.
Very weird, yeah.
Even for people who because I have ads on my Netflix, and on the top right, it was counting down the time till they came back from commercial break, but there was no commercial break.
Yeah, a little weird.
So they have a real commercial break this time, and it's Stephanie's Places, which premieres today on Wednesday on ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus.
Well,
which I have
It's not exactly that way because you need to have like the bundle pack to get all three.
Yeah, it's
Because I tried to watch it on Hulu without the bundle pack, so that's why you gotta give me a. I hope that's why you gotta give me your ESPN. Hopefully, fucking you just give me your ESPN will get me. Because I want to watch the Punk one. The Punk one's gonna be good, I think.
maybe I'll think about it.
No, you said you already said you would on the text. You can't just go back on that now. You already said you would.
I will. It's a thought that went into my head.
We'll see.
But yeah, I'll give it to you. So we get to that tag team match now. It's the Usos versus A Town Down Under, and this was a very good opening match. Took us forever to get to it, but it was a very good opening match. Usos looked like they haven't missed a step. This is the first time that they've actually like wrestled together since War Games.
Yep.
In November. So they just have obviously that immediate chemistry together.
Oh, that SmackDown before War on Netflix, they teamed up with Sammy to face Solo.
Yes. That is true. Yes, that was that. But it was a really good tag match. They hit the 1D for one and done, and they win if they hit Fury with it. Really good match, and then post-match, they celebrate. Gunther comes out of nowhere, rips Jimmy off the apron. They brawl for a little bit, and then Jay goes for the spear, and he trips. People thought it was a botch. It's part of the whole thing that we'll see later on. And he starts Gunther starts elbowing him, beating the crap out of him until Jimmy gets back to his feet and chases him away with a steel chair. The whole thing was really good. The tag match was really good. I thought the post match was good. Yeah, this was it was all of it was good.
Yeah, I like the tag match a lot. I thought it was really good. There's at one point where Austin Theory hits a really stiff shot to the back of Jimmy's head. I thought about killed him type of thing. It was insane. But yeah, obviously Usos wouldn't make sense. I guess it's just never going to turn Austin Theory face because now they've gone back. They're not doing that anymore. Obviously, I like the turning the botch from last week into a storyline with Jay type of thing, where he just tries too hard type of thing, and they're doing like the whole self-doubt thing now type of thing, which I think is really smart. I feel like that's getting a lot of the crowd now to say even more like, oh, look at this, now he's messing up even more, but then you realize it's a work. I realized right away too that was a work when that happened, because he never trips up on the spear that way and all that type of stuff. I feel like it's gonna finally bring some fuel to Gunther and Jay's feud type of thing. They still need to mix that up because obviously it's been every week one of them will have a match. It's mainly been Jay, honestly, and Gunther will just attack him, and either Jay fights him off or Gunther beats him up. They still need to like mix that up. They should have done like a contract signing or something like that. I think putting Jimmy into it, was gonna mixes it up a little bit, but this feud, I'm glad that it doesn't seem like it's going to main event Mania because I don't really think they put enough into this feud now where they can really have this be the main event of night one of WrestleMania at this point.
Yeah, I don't think it might kick off one of the nights,
which I wouldn't complain about. Yeah,
not going to be an event.
It could main event. No. That's good.
Yeah,
you wouldn't watch it.
Watch it.
Yeah. Oh, you have to talk about this. It's funny.
Then, we have a backstage segment with Lyra Valkyria. She's shown walking around backstage with Bayley. And then they go into Pierce's office, and then it goes into Pierce's office, and Pierce is in there, and they play.
they play the vignette for the debuting El Grande Americano because Chad Gable's sick. He's sick. He's coughing very fakely.
He had a doctor's note, though. He had a doctor's note, though.
He had a doctor's note. Pierce said it was legit. It fucking wasn't. You can fucking see it wasn't. Probably nothing on that piece of paper.
Well, what the fuck was that? Then why are you yelling at him? Why are you yelling at the fans? Then yell at fucking Pierce. He's the one that bought that shit. Why are you yelling at? Why are you yelling at us?
Because it has to be. So they're in there, and Ray's pretty pissed off, and so isn't Dragon, and then Dragon agrees to face El Grande Americano later on. But it's really funny. The fucking video package is hilarious. They called the Gulf of America, which pissed off a lot of people. It's comedy, it's parody, it's a joke. It's not real. Chad Gable's not really a luchador. You put a fucking mask on. It's for a storyline. Get over it. Laugh and move on.
Whoa.
For fuck's sake.
What? By the way, it hasn't been proven yet that this is Chad Gable.
It's fucking Chad Gable.
We saw them in the same room together.
It's fucking Chad Gable. He put a mask on someone. It's clearly obvious. How come he's fucking jacked and tanned, and then suddenly he's skinny and scrawny? How about that, huh?
Maybe he's taking some steroids. Maybe he's doing some good training regimen. Maybe that's the case.
He even said that it's fucking Chad Gable because he's seen every part of Chad Gable's body, and that's Chad Gable under the mask.
I like that was interesting. That was an interesting take he said on the WOD. Biggie even knew that was going to go bad the second he said that too, type of thing. So,
but it's funny. I loved it.
Yeah, it's good.
He was a lucha star before he disappeared without a trace. And then after the segment, Michael Cole says, like, I looked this up on Google. You can't even find him anywhere. Looks like he's just made up.
Hey, man, he did say that he's been wrestling on the underground and all that type of stuff. So, they probably did a lot of digging to get rid of any trace of him and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he's on the underground.
Yes, he is.
But then they call him a jackass and they walk away.
Poor
I
guy.
thought this fucking segment.
Poor guy. I wonder how he got sick. And I still don't know how he got sick.
All right, what magically? Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's so totally sick. Yeah, totally not. It's totally not Chad Gable under that mask or anything.
Again, we saw them in the same room together. I don't know how much more clear I can make that. So
I could clearly make it. The dude who's on El Grande Americano says, "Gracias." It sounds exactly like Chad Gable. So,
maybe he's taking inspiration from Chad Gable. Chad Gable was taking inspiration from Kurt Angle, type of thing.
How come this fucking El Grande Americano is jacked and tanned and his body looks exactly like Chad Gable?
Maybe he's doing Chad Gable's training regimen.
I wonder why.
Maybe he's doing Chad Gable's training regimen. Maybe he I don't know what more. I don't know what you want from me. Type of. Again, we saw them in the same room together. It's clearly not Chad Gable.
Put a mask on someone and they escorted him out to make it seem like it wasn't him. Oldest trick in the book.
Yeah, but how come he was? How come he was there backstage again? Type of thing.
Because he took the fucking mask off and pretended to be sick. That's why. I mean,
again, that was a real doctor. I mean, Dragon Lee saw the doctor's note too. He didn't question it. So that's.
They laughed at it.
They said it. Adam Pearce says it's official. Adam Pearce knows official stuff when he sees it.
Well, Adam Pearce is stressed out.
I mean, as you saw with the Raw Women's Championship situation, he handled that pretty well. So I'm going to trust Adam Pearce here on this. I think Adam Pearce knows what he's doing.
Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But that's Chad Gable, 100%.
I mean, you're making. You didn't actually see this doctor's note type of thing. You can't even say that looks fake.
You.
Yeah, but you're the one here over here saying that it's fake and all that stuff. You didn't actually see what the doctors
We
do.
didn't see words on that Word document, did we?
I saw something. I saw some black. I saw some black stuff on that on there.
Did you see the note? I don't think so.
We saw something. I didn't see completely blank stuff, but there was something on there.
It could have been fucking words. It could have been ZXLM and
I mean, again, Adam Pearce said that looked like official type of thing. So,
well, he must be blind.
well, he has glasses on. He didn't put his glasses on when he looked at that doctor's note either. That's on him.
But so we get to the women's Intercontinental Championship.
Thank you.
Now it's one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Raquel Rodriguez, with her skanky tag team partner at ringside, versus Lyra Valkyria. I thought this match was good. Yeah, it was a good match. They go for the at one point Raquel goes for the Tejana Bomb, but that to win, and Lyra rolls her up and gets the victory. Winner is still your Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria. Post match, she gets beaten up, and then Bayley makes the save. Because of the interaction they had before, Bayley has a lot of respect and a lot of love for Lyra Valkyria. She didn't want to see her to get, dismantled like that 2-on-1 to make the save. So I did like that post match save from Bayley, and I thought the match was good.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what we're getting from this at Mania. I don't know if we'll get anything from this really at Mania. I could see women's tag team title match, Bayley and Lyra versus Liv and Raquel. And I feel like at some point we're getting Bayley versus Lyra for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Women's Intercontinental Championship isn't very prestigious at the moment. It doesn't really feel like it ever really has anything going on. I mean, and I feel like it really stands out with how the Women's U.S. title situation's kind of looking, type of thing. Lyra's just kind of not really doing too much as champion, and this title seems very, very bland at the moment.
Yeah, it's been kind of disappointing. Not to her, not due to her, but due to the fact that they just don't know the fuck to do with her.
Yeah,
they put the title on her and was like, okay, but you have to put challengers in her way. You have to create stories from this.
I feel like it didn't. It also didn't help that she didn't do anything for like the first month or so as champion. Like she did pretty much nothing as champion. So
yeah,
and I feel like I feel like it seems like with the Women's U.S. Championship situation, they knew instantly what to do. Like Chelsea Green, even if she doesn't in a story, always does some type of segment of significance when she shows up on TV.
Yeah. It just needs to be more. The title needs to be more of a main focus than it's been.
Yeah.
I just think that right now there's just too much shit going on in this company, title belt wise, because of all the titles that need to be put on the card for WrestleMania. That I feel like this one has been used the least of the secondary women's championships.
Well, forget the Speed Championship.
Yeah, I mean the Speed title's being defended, but the U.S. Championship has been featured more prominently than the IC.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, it should be equally as shown on television.
Yes,
I think it's not. I just feel like it's getting pushed to the wayside.
Yeah,
it almost feels like they should not have made a mid-card women's championship if you're just going to have the same fucking people who are competing for the women's championship compete for the IC championship.
Yeah, it just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't really work.
The whole point was so that the mid to lower card tier women's wrestlers who weren't getting used get a shot to go after a championship. Instead, they're putting fucking Liv and Raquel in it and Bayley, which makes no fucking sense.
Yeah. It doesn't really make sense.
Like they should be. Liv and Raquel should be away from that. They're the tag team champions.
Focus on that.
I would like that.
It's just been a huge flop so far. They had Pat McAfee showing off where he got his kilt from, and then they announced more. Another European tour in August, officially now.
Which everyone's mad about because it's the same time as AEW's UK tour.
God forbid they try to make money.
Yeah.
Um,
That will be an interesting...
Credit programming, and it will sell out more than that shitty show will.
I wonder how that will work, yeah. Like, that is going to be funny to see how that works.
So then they cut to a video package of Bianca and Rhea Ripley and as they fight with EO for the title. And they show Adam Pearce walking with the contract, and he means business.
Very much so.
And then they showed the class for the Hall of Fame with Triple H, Michelle McCool, Lex Luger, and the newest inductees, the natural disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon. Really cool. Loved it.
Yeah, I like this. I still kind of knew what was going on with the Hall of Fame in general, because obviously we're not really hearing how we can watch this, like, if you're not there type of thing. So I would like to know what the case is going on. Like, are they not going to air the Hall of Fame, like, on Peacock or anything like that this year, or are they just going to, do it? Because that'd be kind of weird, because obviously I would like to see the Hall of Fame speech and stuff this year type of thing. So
yeah, I mean, Triple H is fucking headlining it, so you would think they would that he would put it on something.
But we haven't heard anything about that yet, so interesting to see how that works.
Or are they gonna do a thing like they're gonna tape it like Friday and then air it like Saturday morning or something like that?
I would complain about that, I guess.
Or instead of like, or air it like during the pre-show or the kickoff show.
That'd be better than what they would air during the kickoff, yeah.
Because I think that would be a lot better, if, like, them to tape the show and then tape the Hall of Fame and then air it in the first hour of the 14-hour fucking kickoff.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Feels like an eternity. It's like a fucking 3-hour kickoff. Like, I get it. It's WrestleMania, but it doesn't need to be fucking 3 hours long.
I would validate it if it's first hour's Hall of Fame, though. I would validate it then.
Yes. But it also should have matches on it, too, which they haven't done in years.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited about natural disasters going in. This was speculated for a few weeks, and now it's official, which is good. And then obviously something interesting that came out of last week, we can talk about real quick, is Lex Luger's trying to get Sting to come over and induct him. And this has obviously been like a big debate. Like, some people think Sting should accept it. Some people think Sting shouldn't accept it. I'm fine with whatever. I feel like people are just making big fucking dramas over nothing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's Luger's request.
Yeah. So
if Lex says, hey, I want Stinger, you got to go get him.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, it's been that AEW should say no because Triple H rejected them being on pay-per-view or whatever it was for Sting's final match. And I'm like, they never asked.
Yeah.
How can you like equate the two? They don't have any equation. They went there as a friend to Sting for his final match. They never asked to be on pay-per-view. To be shown.
Yeah, I don't
They never asked.
Yeah.
So how the fuck is that Triple H's fault if they never asked?
I don't understand that, yeah. And you know what's going to happen, too? Everyone's going to ruin Lex Luger's moment, because if Sting accepts, everyone's going to be fucking babies about it, too, type of thing.
Oh, so. They will, because they all are. But now we get to the interesting backstage segment that kind of carries over from the tag match and the post match between the Usos and Grayson Waller and Austin Theory when Gunther came out. And Jay is sitting on the stairs, and he looks extremely frustrated and upset. And Jimmy comes down the stairs, and he's consoling his brother. And he basically says, like, Gunther's 3-0 against me. Like, he looks like he's lost his confidence, and he asked Jimmy if he can beat him at WrestleMania. And Jimmy says, no, you can't. Flat out, you can't beat him.
Yeah.
In this state of mind, you need to be main event Jey Uso again. Yeah, you had, a slip up and you messed up the dive, but you're main event Jey Uso. Be main event Jey Uso. Like hyping his brother up. And I don't know how he could see, but he goes, hold on, wait a second, I gotta go do something.
Yeah.
And he goes around the corner and there's Gunther. I'm like, what the fuck? You didn't even see him. You can see through the wall?
I don't know how he knew he was there, yeah. Maybe that's
he goes around the corner. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how'd you know he was there? You didn't see him. You were coming down the stairs and he was in the alcove already. It was really weird.
It was very odd, yeah.
He sees Gunther in the alcove hallway
somehow,
and he goes up to him and he challenges him, and then he makes fun of Jay, and Jimmy smacks the ever living fucking piss out of him. It was so fucking loud, and the crowd popped heavy for it.
Yes, they did.
I was like, oh shit! I was like, you pissed off his big brother.
But that's what Gunther. But that's what Gunther wanted, because he smiled after that too. So
he smiled too. You could tell that smile was because that fucking slap hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
and he was trying to play it off. He smacked the fucking shit out of him. That was loud. But yeah, so next week, it sets up the match between Gunther and Jimmy, which I thought the segment was awesome. It was basically him trying to console his brother, trying to pump him up to be main event Jey Uso, and not to think about, to get out of his own head.
Yeah, I like this. Really good storytelling here, and I like the turn the botch from the previous week to, and they're gonna make it into something. I kind of hope too this kind of quiets a lot of the fans and hopes, because obviously everyone's been very negative towards this match at WrestleMania, so I kind of hope this can kind of get people back into it and everything again, but it probably won't.
Yeah, I mean, if you can kind of get Jimmy involved a little bit too, it kind of intrigues me a little bit. Yeah, it's it's kind of ramping up for me right now.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, the constant Gunther attacks and choking him out, I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, this Jay looks like not credible at all. Even though he just won the Royal Rumble. Like, it makes him look like weak. And it's like, okay, this is not... I don't need 3 straight weeks of chokeouts. That's not what I need.
And now we get...
But this,
yeah,
kind of pushed it back into the other realm of ramping up this feud now.
Let's hope that happens.
Now we get to the what Pierce was holding, which is the contract, and he's in the ring, and he opens up the contract in the folder that it was in. He opens it up, and it shows Rhea Ripley's signature still on there. But he said that Rhea signing it doesn't mean anything. It's not official. It can't be official because she's not in the match. And she had a rematch and she had a favor, but before he can even say anything else, Io comes out, and with each interruption, he was getting fucking pissed.
I loved it, yeah. I think he lost it.
Io comes out.
I think
he lost it when Rhea came out.
I think he lost it even.
Really lost it.
I think he lost it even more when Bianca came out. Honestly, because he was he was just like, "Let me say what I want to say."
So Io comes out and basically says she wants to face all 3 of them, but that's not going to happen. And then Bianca comes out, and just like you said, Owen, that his demeanor was, he was trying to say something, and they're just like fucking completely went ape shit.
I love that the commentators played up to it too. It was awesome. Like Pat McAfee was roasting him for it and everything like that. Like,
It was so funny. They talk for a second, and then he tries to again explain. So he tries to explain it again, and then Rhea Ripley comes out, and he loses his mind even more.
yeah.
Then he basically said, "Enough's enough." Like Bianca, no, Io's gonna face Rhea now next week in Raw from the O2 Arena in London, England, and the winner of that match is gonna face Bianca Belair at WrestleMania for the Women's World Championship, and they were okay with it. And then Pierce leaves very angrily. leaves, and they start fighting with each other, and eventually leads to Bianca standing tall, which I thought was very odd that the crowd booed her because she's been insanely over. But I kind of noticed this pattern where she overseas, like, she kind of gets booed more, and it's really odd. I don't know why. It's one of those things that really baffles me, because when she came out, like, as the second in the segment, the crowd popped for her.
Yeah.
And then once they started brawling, she was getting. It was very weird. Very, very weird.
She was acting a little heelish in the segment, though, because mentioning that, like, Rhea shouldn't be this match because she didn't deserve it, type of thing. It's just being very egotistical here, so. I mean, if it leads to a heel, if she's turning heel anyways, maybe this is a good thing, so. Because we still haven't gotten much more of, if she, like, orchestrated the attack also on, Jay Cargill and everything like that, so.
Yeah, we don't know.
And, she's the reason that Rhea lost the belt to begin with, so we don't know.
So backstage, Penta's warming up, and the chicken tender slut, fucking piece of shit, comes up to him and says that he offers him a spot in the Judgment Day, and he basically says that fucking piece of shit, shitbag son, fucking useless piece of shit, pussy whipped motherfucker, says that they want to see him win the Intercontinental Championship in the main event. But yeah, the whole time I was saying, fucking, don't you dare, and he didn't dare.
Do you think he was?
So they go.
Do you think he was considering it at all, or do you think?
Nope.
I'm just saying he didn't answer him right then, so I wasn't sure. So.
Yeah, I mean he could have considered it. He definitely took a thought. There was a thought that went into his head, but clearly he made the right choice. So now they go back to the GM's office, and Adam Pearce is he's frazzled. You can see it on his face. And the New Day come in and they demand a World Tag Team title match at WrestleMania. And Pearce says he's not giving it to them because they have to earn it.
Because before
and that will be determined next week on Raw.
Because before this also, they showed a War Raiders vignette, so that kind of led to this segment too. So
they want to be given a title match, but Pierce is giving it to him, and they tell him to go take his blood pressure medication. That was really funny.
Yeah, that was good.
Bianca comes in after that, and she's just not happy. And Pierce says, "Hey, next week, you're the referee." And Bianca goes, "I don't know how to referee." And then Pierce goes, "Well, you better find out because you're refereeing next week."
That was awesome, yeah.
I thought that was good, and it kind of, again, this incorporates Bianca into it. You know something's going to happen. There's probably going to be a DQ somewhere, and then that's going to set up a triple threat.
I liked how the path they've taken to set up this triple threat too. I think I saw some people complain about it, why they won't just like announce the triple threat, like if he was asking to face both of them. But I really like, it gives us reason to tune in and wondering like how the triple threat match is going to happen, type of thing, and it builds intrigue into the match, because you could set up the triple threat match at any point, but then once you set up the triple threat match, what the hell do you do with the booking? So I like the fact that they're cluing you in and want you to keep watching to see how they set up the triple threat match. Because if you start setting up the triple threat match already, you will. I feel like the feud would be kind of boring, type of thing. I think Rhea's quest has been very good, and everything like that.
Yeah, and it also flushes out the Rhea's championship rematch opportunity.
Yeah.
So she doesn't really have so if she doesn't win on Raw, then she doesn't really have a stake in competing for the title.
Yeah.
She already got her rematch.
I wouldn't mind it if like Bianca screwed her over by mistake and Rhea lost again, type of thing, and then then the next week, Adam Pearce like, okay, like you kind of fucked her over, type of thing, and then Bianca doesn't have to screw over on purpose. Like she could miss Io Sky could pin her and she could miss like her foot being under the rope or something, like not see it, type of thing, or she could inadvertently like take a cheap shot at, like push Bianca into like a move, and then Bianca pins her, type of thing, and not a fast count, but like pins her and that causes Rhea to get out of hand, and then Adam Pearce backstage. Adam Pearce says like, no, like you kind of screwed her over here. The title match is happening, type of thing, or they play it in another week, type of thing. Because I feel like they are just gonna do like a no finish type of thing, but I wouldn't mind if like because of Bianca, Rhea loses, and then like the next week, she finally gets a title match because Bianca screwed her over in the rematch, type of thing.
Yeah, that seems like the route they could go.
And then the World Tag Team title situation, with the New Day wanting to challenge them, I guess is okay. The World Tag Team Championships
haven't done anything.
Yeah, the World Tag Team titles situation on Raw has also just been a lot of nothing too, type of thing. Which is kind of weird because I guess that's just kind of the thing with the good thing about SmackDown being 3 hours, because the SmackDown side of the tag division is like awesome, type of thing, like a lot really fleshed out, and the Raw ones is just kind of like this is the first time I think the Wall Raiders have been seen at all on the show in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so it's like
they haven't been seen from a while.
Yeah, so yeah, but let's continue talking about this professional wrestling show right here.
So now we have the semi-main event and the second to last actual wrestling match on the show, which is the debut of El Grande Americano from the Gulf of America.
Thank you.
And even on this WrestleView thing, it says El Grande Americano is clearly Chad Gable.
Well, they don't know what they're talking about then. They're just throwing speculation out there and everything like that. And
this guy's awfully wrestling a lot like Chad Gable.
Again, he took inspiration from Chad Gable. So.
It wasn't that long of a match. It was good. And Dragon Lee goes to the top. Chad Gable grabs him by the mask and rips it off. And as Dragon Lee is covering his face, he gets the win. El Grande Americano does with the ankle lock, which is applied like Chad Gable too also.
Yeah, but a lot of people have taken inspiration from the ankle lock. Chad Gable took it from Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle took it from Kurt. I almost said
you're delusional.
I almost just called Ken Shamrock Kurt Shamrock.
Good old Kurt Shamrock.
But there was a spot in the match that was pretty scary where Dragon Lee does like the double stomp, and usually does that, and he lands in the ring, but he landed on the outside, and he hurt his ankle. I thought he broke his ankle on that spot, and all that type of stuff. I noticed I kind of have a bone to pick with you because in every match when the luchador it almost gets his mask ripped off, usually say leave the mask alone. How come it was okay for Dragon Lee to try to go after Al Grande Americano's mask? I feel like
he's not real.
Yeah, but you always say leave the mask alone. Like clearly he wants his face covered. How come it's okay if they rip his mask off?
Because it's Chad Gable.
Michael Cole actually called him a Chad Gable a few times by like accident in this match.
No, on purpose because he knows it's Chad Gable.
No, it was definitely an accident at one point. He botched and it was an accident. So again,
no, it was definitely meant to call him Chad Gable.
Again, Pat McAfee and I seem to be the only ones that knows the real life stakes that's going on here. I feel like you and Michael Cole are kind of being a little delusional and everything like that.
Michael Cole and I are fucking correct.
It feels like you and Michael Cole might be buddies or something. I feel like you guys are trying to like.
We are because we're correct.
I feel like you guys are trying to spread fake news that isn't real.
We're spreading news that is correct because it is Chad Gable.
Are you sure? We haven't seen. Again, we've seen them together in the same room and everything like that. So like
oh yeah, of course that little scrawny motherfucker somehow, as opposed to the guy that was jacked.
I mean,
him. Yeah.
I mean, he was sick. Chad Gable was sick. This guy.
He's sick and he lost. He somehow lost his muscle mass too.
I don't know what to say, man. Like, there's clearly no way I can convince you that the two different people. I've gotten all the evidence that I have. So you have.
I know that I'm not delusional.
Well, see, though, you never know. I mean, I don't. Like I said, if Adam Pearce really thought El Grande Americano was Chad Gable, he wouldn't have let him go out there and wrestle because again, he was sick, type of thing. His hands were tied. So.
Oh yeah, that very real cough. Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know why he wasn't. I don't know why he wasn't wearing a mask, like not a luchador mask, but like a COVID mask type of thing. So, again,
but he was wearing a luchador mask, so that would protect his cough.
Again, like we'll have to see what happens here, like who this guy really is. But Chris says his.
Oh yeah, we'll see who this guy really is. Once he is on mask, it's Chad Gable. Yep.
We'll see, And
I would have been right the whole time.
We'll see, that's a good prediction to have, but we'll just have to let
the truth.
We'll have to let the story play out, though. Maybe it isn't Chad Gable. There's always a chance.
Maybe it is.
It could be, but at the moment that
it's like a 99.9% chance that's Chad Gable.
We'll see.
There's a 1% chance that it might not. There is always 1%, but that 1% could be 100%.
We'll see.
That is Chad Gable.
I mean, you're not good at math, man. So it's your math doesn't. So the fact that you're doing the math, that something's not adding up.
Yeah, something's not adding up, right? Yeah, it's the fact that it's Chad Gable.
Again, we haven't.
It's convenient that Chad Gable was pushing for this guy, and then mysteriously, where was Chad Gable? Well, not to be seen.
Well, he was in the office when the vignette was played. He thought this guy looked impressive and everything like that. So,
but why would he be at ringside then? If he thought he was so
he was sick. He was sick.
Because wait a minute, it's the same person.
He was sick. He's not feeling well.
It's the same person.
Yeah, you know what? You want people getting sick? If he comes out there, a lot of people are gonna get sick.
He's not even sick. That's the fakest stuff I've ever seen.
He had a doctor's note.
He needs a doctor's note? Was he in fucking high school?
Yeah, but then he could have gone out there in the state that he was in, and then he could have gotten Dragon Lee sick or Ray sick. You don't want that. You don't want those.
He's not sick. He's phonies. You're buying right into it. Falling for it.
Only time will tell. Only time will tell. But we just gotta let the story play out and see what happens. That's all I can say. That's all I have left.
Delusion. They showed last Friday. First they showed that Gunther's gonna be on LFG, which is cool.
And then they recapped the brawl from the previous Friday, in Italy, I think it was.
Yes.
And then CM Punk comes out, and just go watch it. It was a good segment. He basically just pumps up the crowd, saying that he's here, but they're not here, and that he wanted to have the that's contract signing tonight in Glasgow, but they weren't there. So it was a good segment.
It seems like SmackDown is where the storyline will really get like advanced, because obviously the past couple weeks on Raw it's just been like Seth or Punk doing the promo segments to like lead up to SmackDown type of thing.
Yeah, it seems like the direction that they're kind of going in. It's going to be on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So they announced that that next week that Raw will be live from London, England at a special start time of 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, from London, England. So we're getting the 3 o'clock start time again next week, Eastern time.
They mentioned that
should be really fun time again.
Yeah, that's the last Raw in London and stuff, which I think will be cool. I'm looking forward to it. I am worried what happened. I feel like the first episode back in the States of like any show, like from Raw or SmackDown, like will still be good, but like you're definitely gonna notice a dip because the crowd won't be as loud. Because I always notice it's like that after they do like a big pay-per-view, like not but PLE, like when they went to Germany, the first Raw back in the States, you could definitely, it was still like the normal size crowd, but you could definitely see that there was a little bit of a drop.
Yeah, there definitely was.
And then,
but they showed a video package for Logan Paul, basically calling out AJ and his soccer mom haircut, which is very rude. This is like the first time we'd see fucking Logan Paul on TV in forever.
I know, yeah, it was insane. I
don't think he's banned. I don't think he's banned from any of these countries, but it's very. I guess they're just playing it safe.
Yeah, he's gonna be on next week. I'm looking forward to it. It is kind of a shame. That is one of the shame about the European tour, because I feel like Logan Paul and AJ Styles hasn't really been able to get into high gear because they haven't had Logan Paul, and they didn't have AJ this week. So there was just this promo. I hope next week we get like something really intense from it. I feel like this match was still delivered in Mania, but I feel like the story is just not going to be. Right, I mean, the story will probably pick up steam by then, but the story hasn't been able to really pick up steam because both of them haven't been able to be on the shows at the same time, really.
Yeah,
and stuff.
It's really just been AJ.
Yeah, and this week we didn't even get AJ.
And it was AJ, and it was AJ carrying too. It wasn't even like.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like he was like the proxy almost.
It's also really weird they haven't done like. Because the past two segments we've had with AJ and Carrie, and you would think that would set up a match between them, like, by now, but that hasn't happened yet, type of thing. It's just been, like...
I honestly forgot that they weren't feuding.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row where they had segments, or 3 weeks in a row. Well, they had segments together, and I was like, wait a minute. The feud is fucking AJ and Logan, not AJ and Carrion.
Again, Carrie just needs to mind his own business, man. He doesn't know how.
They look like twins.
There should be a tag team.
The Hair Brothers or something.
Yeah.
Also, next week too, can have another face-to-face with Cena and Cody, where the last advertised event for Cena.
Probably till Go Home Mania, though.
Yeah, he'll be there for that, but this is the last actually advertised show that he's on.
I hope they I hope they really kick it up a notch next week, since it's going to be his last appearance type of thing.
Yeah, you can't just do another Cena craps on the crowd promo, because that would have been fucking 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
You need to see something different, some physicality. There needs to be like a pull-up brawl of some kind.
Or Cena lays him out again, type of thing.
Yeah, like a pull apart, or Cena gets the upper hand, and then we don't see him for a while, and then Cody starts calling him out again.
I hope they do. I hope they have some like pre-tapes of Cena, like where he's gonna do promos for a little bit too, like type of thing.
Yeah, it depends. Like he might be shooting something, so that's why we don't. That's why he's not like advertised. I mean, he could show up, but
I mean, don't forget last
he's
year.
not
Don't
for
forget.
anything.
I mean, never say never. Don't forget last year. I'm pretty sure, like on the hype up to Mania 40, The Rock showed up really unexpected. I think it was that same Raw where like he beat down Cody backstage. I don't think he was advertised for. Yeah, I don't think he was advertised for that. So
They could do something like that.
yeah. So
Like it's a complete surprise. Like he blindsides Cody or something like that.
yeah, I'd like that.
So Kathy Kelly's backstage interviewing Braun Breaker. Potentially joining the Judgment Day. And because he'll retain his title because the dogs are barking in Glasgow.
What do you think they really were, Balkan?
And yes, they could have been. I mean, maybe.
When he says the dogs are
next.
Is it when he says the dogs are bought in a certain city? Do you think it's like every dog in that city, or do you think it's just certain dogs? Because he says he doesn't say specific.
All of them. All the dogs. Every one of them.
So what if one dog isn't barking? Then that means not all the dogs are barking.
But they would all be barking.
Yeah, but if one's not barking, then not all of them are barking. Then
I can't handle that.
was your dog barking during this segment?
No, because she was sleeping.
Damn.
Like she always does. So that's the main event. The main event now is Braun Breaker versus Penta for the the men's
Thank you.
Intercontinental Championship.
Thank you, Gabby.
Yeah, the really good match. Braun does the thing again where he does the clothesline to the outside, over the announce table. Move his fucking every time he does it. Looks fucking even more impressive. Each time he does it, insane. Penta hits a Mexican destroyer and fucking dipshit and his lackey are out there, and they try to distract the referee so that Penta can get the win. Penta looks confused, and eventually it ends in a disqualification because Dirty Dipshit gets into the ring, and the entire time Penta's just sitting there, and he's like, "Ref, what happened?
Yeah, so
Ref, what happened?"
yeah, that was funny.
And Penta goes, "Disqualification," and I was like, "What are you doing? Get up and do it and help Braun." I thought that was really funny. And so now Dirty Dipshit and also Finn end up coming too and helping them, and there's a chair and then Dirty Dipshit gives the chair to Penta. Penta feigns like he's gonna attack Braun and join the Judgment Day. He throws the chair up a la RVD style to Dirty Dipshit, and he super kicks the fucking chair into his face because he's deserved it, because he's a piece of shit.
I love Finn's reaction. I loved Finn's reaction to this too, because he knew this was gonna happen, and he was like pissed at Dom when like Penta didn't join the Judgment Day, because obviously he knew that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, of course he did. But Braun and Penta, they use the chairs, and then Penta gets hit with the coup de grace, and the Judgment Day stand tall, and they for a moment look very united.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this match was really, really good. I thought the match itself was very good. And the post match, I like the post match because it makes it makes it gets like Finn Balor looking like strong and dominant again.
I noticed you just said Finn Balor. You could care less if Carlito and Dom look strong, type of thing. You don't like that, but
nah, brace. Funny guy, awesome guy. That other nah.
I like the segment though. I kind of figured there wasn't going to be a clear winner between Penta and Braun, so I kind of hope maybe after WrestleMania we could kind of get like a rematch between them. And then, because I'm hearing 4-way match at Mania with Finn, Dom, Braun, and Penta for the belt, which I think would be fine. I was thinking 6-man at first too, where the Penta and Braun get like a tag partner and they face Carlito, Finn, and Dom type of thing. But I would be fine with a 4-way because I think if Penta's going to win the IC belt, the men's IC belt, it should be a Mania where everyone will like see it and everything like that. But yeah, I like the main event angle. I like that Finn looks strong again at the end, and I think Judgment Day just really needed to look strong because he haven't looked strong in a few weeks. And we're finally, I feel like Penta, what's a good thing about him now is he's finally like, interwoven into the storylines and stuff, because obviously when someone debuts, because of how Triple H books his shows, he's got to find a way to get him in. He's not just going to show up right away and like instantly be in something. Because I think that's the biggest thing that Tony Khan kind of fucks up with, where someone will show up and then like immediately he just can't wait. He can't let it like play out. He has to like get them into something, like with like Ricochet was immediately into something for no reason type of thing, and then he ended up having to turn heel because he sucks online anyways. I shouldn't say he sucks in general. And then yeah, so it's good that Penta's kind of finally rolled into the WWE's program now and everything like that. And yeah, I thought it was a good ending to Raw, and I think Penta going for the IC belt's a good path for him at the moment because the world titles are kind of a little bit occupied at the moment, and he doesn't have a opponent for the tag titles right now, so I think the IC title would be a good spot for him. Plus, it's not like, the IC title is pretty prestigious nowadays and everything like that, with all the work that Gunther, Sammy, and Braun have put in to make that belt prestigious. I mean, it's main evented Raw the past 2 weeks, so I think that's pretty good. But what do you think of... want to give Raw a nice little letter grade, or do you want to just, like, say, fuck it, no letter grades ever again?
No letter grades ever again. Fuck it.
Oh, that's not good. You got what? But the show deserves a letter grade. The people need to know what if they were going to give a letter grade, what would Chris give it? They're going to be thinking about that. So what's Chris going to give as a nice letter grade? What's the letter grade? Oh, did I lose Chris? I think I lost Chris. Let's see if I can get Chris back. Are you back?
Yep. Yep.
Right when I asked that question, I thought you just would like playing the bit and didn't answer, but then I didn't realize I lost you. So, what are you gonna give Raw as a letter grade?
I give it a B+.
I agree. It's a very great show. And then we have some other things to talk about. We have to talk about NXT from last night. Let's talk about it. So we have NXT from last night. It was on March 25th, 2025. The commentary team was back to the 3-man booth with Booker T, Vic Joseph, and Corey Graves. Because Corey Graves was off last week because he filled in for Pat McAfee for Raw last week. So he was back this week. And we kicked off with... well, actually, it showed everyone arrive into the arena. They did kind of a goofy thing where it showed Javon Evans arriving. And we saw... Dark State, like, arriving to the building behind him. It's like they had an opportunity to jump him there, but they didn't take it. Like they clearly saw Javon Evans walking around, but I guess as you're gonna fight, as we'll talk about in this show, this group doesn't like to attack anyone physically, really. So it's a thing.
It's like the
Huh?
It is like the look and clap.
Yeah, but we kicked off with the first of two women's title matches on the show because they were playing up the storyline where Stephanie Vacchio had to defend both championships on this show. And the first one was a women's championship. It was Stephanie Vacchio defending the women's championship against Jada Parker. They did some really good stats throughout this show where they mentioned, that no one had ever successfully defended two singles championships in one night. Obviously they threw shade at Seth Rollins because he lost, and then they threw shade at Becky Lynch because she had lost when she had done this. I assume they made it two separate matches because I'm pretty sure when Keith Lee won the NXT North American and NXT Championship, I think he defended them both in the same match, but I think they mean in separate matches type of thing. And we had this match here. This was a fairly good match. You could definitely tell that Stephanie Vacchio was the one carrying the match because there's some moments in this match that happened where I think Jada Parker just got lost. But during the match, they showed all the talent watching from backstage, and one of them was Jordynne Grace, and at one point you see Jordynne Grace walk off. This seems to be a CW thing ever since NXT's done this, where they'll do this spit, because they never did this before when they were on USA Network, and I don't always hate it when they do this, but sometimes they'll do it at really random times. Like, I think I remember they showed, like Javon having a match one time, and they showed, like, something completely unrelated to this one time. So I feel like CW kind of doesn't really do this at the best times sometimes. But this was fine. And then Jada Parker is about to hit a hip attack in the corner onto Stephanie Vacchio. But then Jordynne Grace is on the other side of the ring. Which this was really weird because what the hell were they backstage? Because Jordynne Grace, it seemed like, came out through the crowd here type of thing. I don't understand what happened there. But then Stephanie Vacchio uses this opportunity to get a roll-up win onto Jada Parker. So they're going to continue that feud. They brawled backstage, Jordynne Grace and Jada Parker. And then afterwards, Fatal Influence attacked Stephanie Vacchio to injure her some more going into the main event title match type of thing. I like the title match between Stephanie Vacchio and Jada Parker. Obviously, the attack happened and was pretty predictable. You kind of figured that was going to happen. But overall, what'd you think of this? I thought this was solid.
I thought it was good. Right person, what I've seen Stephanie Vacchio. I like that the Jordynne Grace follow from the week prior. I like it.
And then we had a backstage segment with Trick Williams, and Javon Evans comes up to him, and he's upset with Trick Williams about the fact that he was more focused on Obafemi than he was Dark State. And Javon Evans, talks about how him and Trick Williams he thought were cool, and Trick Williams says that, like, we were cool, but now that I'm the champion now, you have potential, but you got to do something with this potential, or else you're just not going to have titles. And Javon Evans says that tonight he's going to prove him wrong when he wins the NXT Heritage Cup, which I forgot was even a championship on this show, honestly, because it's been so infrequently featured, I think, since it's been brought to NXT. And Trick Williams says, well, we'll have to wait and see. So I like this backstage segment here. They're clearly setting something up with Trick Williams, as we're going to talk about throughout this show. And Javon Evans, I think, is just getting better and better every week. He's really starting to find his character, which I think is good for him. Because I think, in the beginning, he was just the guy that could do dives and stuff. And now it seems like he's actually starting to, like, learn how to tell stories and everything like that, which is good. So what do you think of this?
I like it. I do.
And then we had a backstage segment with all the women backstage, and Gigi Dolan and Tatum Pack. Metaphor, the Meta Girls, want to know, like, when they can get their opportunity, and they're upset because on TNA this past week, they went there originally to challenge the Knockouts Tag Team Champions, which is interesting. They didn't call them that title. They called them just the women's tag titles here. They just kept saying the TNA women's tag titles when that's not the name of the belts. I don't think they ever on this show refer to the women as Knockouts. Anytime they mention the women's division, which is kind of interesting. And then, Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley stand up, and they kind of argue for a little bit, and this leads to a match later on. And Ava kind of doesn't want to deal with this because she wants to go make sure Stephanie Vacchio is okay. This segment really didn't need to happen. They wanted to use this segment. They wanted to use the segment to just set up a match, but I feel like they didn't really need a segment to set up a match. You could have just. This is actually a weird thing. You could have just had a match, and I would have been fine with it, type of thing. You could have just showed the replay from TNA. I don't know why you didn't just do that. But what do you think of this?
It didn't need to happen. Lots of screaming, unnecessary screaming.
And then Vic Joseph interviews Ricky Sanks. This was filmed earlier in the day. And, Ricky Sanks is talking about how, he's traveled the wrestling business for years. He talked about, how he used to just live in his car. And then he was, he had to go through all that to get to his path in WWE. And Ricky Saints mentions that he's made a lot of enemies in NXT, but obviously everyone's trying to refer to him as an outsider, but he's going to prove everybody wrong. And then Sean Spears comes up to him, and he basically sends Vic Joseph away, saying, let me talk to this kid for a minute. And Sean Spears talks about how him and Ricky Saints traveled the same path and they've been together before, and he just sees the same Ricky Saints, and that's why he hasn't offered for him to join the Cullen. And Ricky Saints says that are you just doing that because you know that I can beat you for the NXT Men's North American Championship? And he talks about how you're going to make friends, you're going to make enemies in this business. And Sean Spears points out that why can't you make both? Because I've found a group of friends that treat me like family, and they come up to him, and Ricky Saints says, you better keep that title real warm for me. And Sean Spears walks away, and they do a really funny line here saying that, if you don't win the belt, you could always go back to, and obviously he just can't finish. He said, oh, wait, but you burned every bridges that you have. And that was obviously a shot at AEW right there, what Sean Spears just said.
Yeah.
And this really worked.
Oh, yeah.
This really worked, too, because obviously Sean Spears has been in AEW also, and I guess the shot there is because Sean Spears hasn't burned every bridge because he left pretty peacefully, where Ricky Saints did not leave AEW very peacefully. So this segment I thought was really good. I'm really liking Sean Spears as men's NXT North American champion. I could do without his faction. I feel like Sean Spears could just be on his own and be fine. But, I guess his faction's kind of nice. Maybe I don't hate his faction. Honestly, if you think about it, Dog State should really be his faction. Should have been his faction. That should have been the Cullen, and they really messed that up. But, yeah, what do you think of this segment here? I really liked... I don't think Ricky Saints and Sean Spears ever, had an interaction in AEW. I like that WWE just wasted no time and had them have an interaction, because their interaction really works. What do you think of this?
I liked it. I thought it was really good. I'm really into whatever is going on there. That match is going to rule at Stand and Deliver.
No, it's next week.
Next week? Yeah, that's right. I mean, they could have a rematch at Stand and Deliver, but I think the match is going to fucking rule anyway.
I agree.
I'm looking forward to it.
Then we had Wesley, Tyreek Equi, and Tyson DuPont backstage, and they were just making fun of Ricky Saints and say that they're just going to go take care of business, so that was whatever. Wesley's just become so irrelevant. He's just... remember how, popular he was last year? Now he's just, nothing. And then...
It's frustrating, too, because they broke up the Rascals with the intention of him being this, mega heel, and it's
It hasn't worked.
He hasn't done anything.
Yeah, I don't get
nothing. He had that one feud with Zach Wentz, and then he takes out Trey Miguel, and then it just he just randomly interferes in their matches with no repercussions.
Yeah, and then Ethan Page walks up, and Kale Dixon and Elia Connors are making fun of him, saying that you could just be like Ricky Saints and try to elevate yourself again. And Ethan Page is about to like beat them up, and then Andre Chase comes to the defense, and Ethan Page says he's gonna go talk to Ava and see if he can get a match made, and then Andre Chase, it seems like this is gonna be the new Chase U now. We did like a big deep dive about this off camera about like how stupid this is, that there's really no point in putting Chase U back together because Duke Hudson isn't there anymore. So, that's whatever. I like the Ethan Page stuff though. That was good. What'd you think of this? What'd you think of this segment?
Oh, I didn't mind it. Yeah, Ethan, I don't mind it.
And then backstage, Hank and Tank are getting ready for their match, and Motor City Machine Guns comes up and gives them some motivation, and we're gonna see if that works. And then we had the match between Hank and Tank versus Tyreek Equi and Tyson DuPont. This match was kind of mid. Tyreek Equi and Tyson DuPont are not TV ready. They sometimes seem like they don't know what they're doing. Like there was some points, I think even Booker T was calling it out on commentary where I don't think he was Booker T was very mad on this show, by the way, I should say. But like he was especially angry during this match, like with DuPont and Equi. And then they didn't win. Hank and Tank, they went for the Motor City Machine Gun Skull and Bones finisher, and then Wesley interfered, and Tyreek Equi and Tyson DuPont hit an awful finisher where like it was like they went for a back suplex, and then like I don't even know what it was. It was like one of the other guy like jumped, like it was, I was gonna say jumped into a double stomp, but no, he jumped into him like it did, like I don't even know what it was, but it was something. And then they had this awful music afterwards play for like Tyreek Equi and Tyson DuPont. Like Tyreek Equi and Tyson DuPont should not be on TV right now. They are not ready for this. What do you think of this?
I feel like it's going to be stupid. I feel that they're going to turn on Wesley, and that's going to lead to like a Rascals reunion for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why I feel like it's going to happen, but I think it's going to happen.
Then why'd you break them up then?
Reasons.
Okay. I like the story they're telling with Hank and Tank, though, where, like, they're trying to, tell a story with them. I feel like that could, and they're over huge right now type of thing. And Tank Ledger was working real hard in this match. He had some really cool dives. So what do you think of the story of Hank and Tank going on? I like that.
I liked it. I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty good.
And then we had, Steffi Vacchio and Ava talking backstage, and Steffi Vacchio said she's going to go forth with a title match. That was whatever. And then we had like a really weird segment with Nathan Frazier and Axiom where they just can't seem to ever get along. It makes me not like this. I like this tag team a lot, but their gimmick is basically that they always argue, and I don't like that because I don't like. It's just not good. And then it showed like Obafemi arriving, and then they weren't arguing, like they were just arguing, joking around. But that seems like that all Sean does with his tag team, where they could just never get on the same page, and it's really stupid. So what do you think? What'd you think of those segments right there?
They were okay.
It seems like for Axiom are kind of in limbo at the moment. Ever since they lost to the Hardys, they don't, because they've beaten every team also in NXT at the moment. I feel like they need to. It's time for them to probably move up after WrestleMania probably and go to SmackDown or probably Raw. I think Raw needs them for the tag division more so than anything else. So, but then we had the NXT Heritage Cup match. It was Javon Evans versus Lexi Skin, with Lexi Skin defending the title. This match was awesome. Really made Javon Evans look really good, and he was a workhorse in this match. His facial expressions were really good. Eventually, Obafemi interferes, and he hits a power bomb into the apron, and this causes Javon Evans to get counted out. And then afterwards, Obafemi goes to continue his attack, and then Dark State, because before this, actually no, they didn't do a promo before this. It was after this, but Dark State come out, and they kind of do the same thing from last week, where they just stand there, and Trick Williams comes in, and he tries to hit Oba with the trick shot, but he hits Javon by accident, and then it leads to Obo and Trick get into a pull apart brawl. It's just really weird that this faction won't really do anything. Like, they just stand there and don't attack anybody, and I don't really get what they're going for there. Because can you imagine in the old days if the Shield did this? They just did their entrance and just stood there and didn't attack anybody. They would look stupid.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm a bit interested. I feel like we're getting a triple threat match between Trick, Obo, and Javon, which I think will be awesome. So, what'd you think of this?
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
Even the Dark State stuff you didn't mind? Okay.
Stand there and clap.
Then we had Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan versus the Meta Girls. This match was alright. Tatum Paxley did this awesome submission where she was like on the ground and doing like a vice script to I think it was Jakara Jackson. I don't know why that's not a finish. That's a really good finish, like type of thing, but it's not a finish for some reason. And then they had Sol Ruka and Zarya come out and watch this match. I don't know why they didn't have an appearance from Ash by Elegance and Heather Reckless. I thought that was kind of a missed opportunity, like show them in the crowd since they're having a match this week and they advertised the match, but whatever. I think it's for, and the commentators get confused about whether that was a match was for the belts on TNA because it's not for the belts, but they kept saying that it was. But if you see the graphic, it's clearly not for the belts. They did a funny thing where Corey Graves mentioned that Ash by Elegance looked familiar. That was funny. I thought that was awesome. Yeah, I could. Tatum and Gigi Dolan won. I actually think they're a really good team. I think they're a really good tag team. I wouldn't, if I was them, I would just put the belts right on, Gigi and Tatum. Because I haven't seen any of the reign, but I have a feeling that reign of Ash and Heather is going to be real bad real quick. So I would get I would get the belts off them real quick. I don't even know why they have the belts. That's dumb. Plus, too, it also gives NXT like a tag title reign. Because I always like that stories that they tell when someone from outside a wrestling company wins someone else's tag titles type of thing. And I think you could do that with Gigi and Tatum type of thing. So, but I don't think, again, it's not for the belts, so I don't understand that. But what do you think of this match right here? I thought it was fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Nothing too terrible.
And then the family have a segment. Don, I almost just called him Don Ladio. I don't even know who that is. That's nobody. So
Him.
Tony D, who's a Don Ladio now apparently. He's waiting. You ever notice they go to this restaurant and they never eat anything? They just sit there and just chat. They never eat anything at this. Is this even a restaurant anymore? Remember this was a restaurant at one point. I don't even think it is because they only show. I think it's like a wine place. I don't even know what this is, but the family comes in, and Tony D wants them to find out any information that they can find out on Dark State. I don't know why he doesn't just. I guess they don't want. I mean, one of them's pretty easy to get. They're on LFG. Just watch LFG and you can get information on them. It's pretty easy. So I still think that's awesome. I think Sean forgot that Cutler James is on LFG and he put him on this fucking faction. That's just. Does that mean he gets the NXT contract at the end? Which is weird because he doesn't even have any points in LFG right now. So that's just. You realize Sean accidentally just made LFG not matter because if Cutler James doesn't get the contract. That don't mean shit because he's just going to be booked on that. All it just takes is Sean to book the guy on the show and he get an NXT contract. So I still don't know what that means in LFG. An NXT contract. What the fuck does that mean? Everyone signed to fucking WWE, so I don't know what that means. But then he has the lawyer. What's his name again?
Oh, Luca Crucifino.
Yeah, he has Crucifino and Rizzo step away, and him and Stacks have a private talk, and mention that they can trust him and he's the right hand man and everything like that, and Stacks says he can trust him, and you can definitely tell Stacks is going to turn on Tony D based on this segment. So I'm okay with that because I'm kind of over the family. This faction's been pretty stale for a while, so I don't know. And yeah, it's just I'm just kind of done with it. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I don't care about them anymore. They kind of suck.
Yeah. I feel like the last thing that Tony D can really do is feud with Obo again for the belt, because obviously there's this history there, because Obo's the only one that, because Tony's the only one that's beaten Oba. So once that feud happens, whatever. Then we had Hank and Tank and Motor City Machine Guns backstage. They have a good segment where Motor City Machine Guns are giving them some nice motivational speech. It was good. Good guys. I like this.
Yeah. Loved it.
It's kind of weird though. Like they kind of sound like they were talking down to him a little bit, because it's like, oh, you guys haven't been a team for that long. So it was really, I don't think they're going heel. It was just,
hey, you've been a team. Fucking when you become a team like us, you become big boys.
yeah. So it was just
Then
yeah. Then we had Ethan Page versus Andre Chase. Ethan Page his entrance got interrupted by Ricky Saints, and this match was very good. I didn't expect this match to be as good as it was. It was very good. There was a funny shot that that Ricky Saints took on commentary, where Vic Joseph was apologizing for that their interview got interrupted by Ethan Page, and he says, no, not Ethan Page, by Sean Spears. And he says, he's not the first Canadian to hate me, and he's not the last, and that was obviously a shot at Cope, because obviously that was essentially what cost Ricky Saints to kind of jump to WWE, and I think that was awesome. What do you think of that shot that Ricky Saints took at AEW and Cope right there?
great.
I hope they ask Cope about that in like an interview someday, but I don't think they will. I feel like Cope's taking a shot at him at Dynamite if he cuts a promo this week. But Ethan Page wins with the it's the Twist of Fate, but there was a new. What was the name of the finisher this week? It's a new name now. I forget what it is, but
I don't have.
and then him and Ricky Saints are about to get into it. And then Sean Spears hits him in the back of the neck with the men's North American Championship, and I feel like we're gonna get some type of ladder match again with the North American title, with Wesley being a part of this also, type of thing. What'd you think of this? I like this.
Yeah, I liked it.
And then Dog State did a promo. It was good, but I still don't care about them. But they were mentioning, that by just them being ringside, they're doing more damage than like actually doing stuff. Which, okay, I guess that's fine. What do you think of this?
It was good.
They cut good promos. The African American in the group is real good on the mic. I don't remember his name, but I don't think they've said it yet. But huh?
For Dark State?
Yeah.
Yeah, Saquon Sugars.
Yeah, he's really good on the mic. I think honestly he should just be on his own by himself. I feel like he's that good. Well, I haven't seen him in the ring yet, but yeah, on the mic wise, he's real good. So
I have.
I've
seen him.
Is he good?
He's really good. He's a former DPW heavyweight champion.
I mean, you did say him and Javon Evans were in DPW together. They could use that history to maybe Javon is the leader of Dog State all along.
He could be, but it wouldn't make any sense.
We'll see. I mean, you're the one that's throwing theories out there that Chad Gable is El Grande Americano.
Because it's real.
Theories at the moment. They're just theories.
Reality. The same person.
But then we had Trick Williams get interviewed, and he talks about how, he didn't mean to hit the trick shot on Wesley, but he talks about how it was an accident, and mentions, that he was just collateral damage, and he said that all he was focused on is getting his title back, and he's going to take out whoever he can to get his championship. He came off very heelish in this segment, and I think that was intended. So I like this segment, though. What'd you think of this?
I liked it.
I don't know if I want him to go heel, though. I don't think he should.
I don't know either. I don't want him to either.
I think it's time for main roster for him. Do you think it's...
But I think he is.
Yeah. Then we had the main event, not the show. I don't watch that anymore. So, but I watched a couple weeks ago, but I forgot to watch last week's. So, but it was for the NXT Women's North American Championship. It was Stephanie Vacchio defending against Fallon Henley. A very good main event here. Stephanie Vacchio does win with the double underhook into the backbreaker, and then afterwards, Fatal Influence attack her, but she gets saved by Jordan Grace, and then afterwards, Jada Parker attacks her, and then she gets fought off, and then Jordan Grace has a face-off with Stephanie Vacchio. Seems like they're going to set up a title program there. And then at the end of the show, backstage, all the women are yelling at Ava, saying that they want the next title shot. And Ava says, I got to go figure this out. I mean, I can figure this out in 2 seconds, Battle Royal, but I guess Ava just needs that time. So,
She needs the time.
Yeah. I like this match here, though. I thought it was good. I like the fact that they kept the belts on Stephanie Vacchio. I was kind of worried they weren't going to do it. And I'm looking forward to seeing Jordan Grace and Stephanie Vacchio at Santa, because it seems like that's going to be the match at Santa Deliver on the women's side of things. But what'd you think of this match and everything like that?
I liked it. I thought the main event was great. Jordan getting involved at the end was interesting. Like you said, Stan delivers the perfect time for that. Yeah, and at the end they just screamed at each other again.
These women,
I swear to God, I said this in the chat, in our chat, like, is this like every fucking backstage segment is just always them screaming at each other? It's been that way for years.
Yeah, it really has been. And I think since Sean took over, too.
Fucking just screaming. I'm like, can we just have a segment where they don't scream?
Yeah, I guess not. And then, that was NXT. I thought NXT was solid. I'll give it like a B. I feel like there was some things that could have been better. You can kind of tell they're starting to build Stand and Deliver, but they haven't fully gotten the ball rolling yet. I wonder if they've waited too long, but I feel like the laying the groundwork out to build to it. But I feel like they probably should have started it probably a little sooner. What'd you think of this?
I give it a B too. Again, another from SmackDown to NXT, 3 really good WWE shows in a row.
Don't forget Evolve.
I said Friday, Tuesday.
That's
Evolve happens on Wednesday.
That's true.
Somehow Evolve happened sometime in between then.
Just a couple of news things we'll break down real quick. We already did the. Oh, you have news.
I'm seeing. It is being seen with my eyes that it is being reported by people that aren't fucking shills for AEW like Dave Meltzer and Sean Ross Sapp, people from WrestleVotes and PWI Insider, that Miro, a.k.a. Rusev, expect him to be back in WWE by the end of the year.
That's cool. Why the end of the year?
That's what they said. That's what I'm seeing. Expect it by the end of the year. Probably because they're trying to space them out, if I would have to say.
I mean, it does say... Yeah.
I know for a fact we're getting Malachi Black after WrestleMania, so...
And Ray Phoenix.
And Phoenix, too. So that I think they're trying to, space them out, because I think Aleister Black and Phoenix are going to be on the same show together on SmackDown. I mean... Rusev returning on Raw would be awesome, but I think they're trying to space them out a little bit because you're getting one debut that's huge and one return that's huge. So I think they want to space it out a little bit.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense because, it does say by the end of the year. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to wait till the end of the year too. They could they could be doing that. They could debut him, have him return after WrestleMania, because it doesn't necessarily say he won't return after WrestleMania. It does say he'll be back by the end of the year.
Big surprise return.
Yeah.
In the summer.
I'm excited about that. I did read online a little bit that it seems like Rusev and Lana are back together, type of thing, which is interesting.
They
they bonded over. I think it was her grandfather had passed away, and Miro was super close with him.
Yeah.
So that like brought them back together.
Which I think is good because I think that act together, is money. Which is funny. I feel like Rusev doesn't need Lana like he did in the beginning, obviously, but I feel like having that act together would be cool, type of thing. I don't necessarily think it would happen, but it would be interesting because AEW, they had them both together. They never put them back together, even though everyone wanted them together. So I really want to see that act back together because a big thing about the Vince era was he was dead set against having them together on screen, really. So I'd like to have them back together again. Rusev really, I think will be huge when he comes back. I think he can do a lot. He can be a really good big man. Him and Jacob Fott too would be an awesome match to have together. And we haven't really,
You can play it up. You can play it up too because Jacob Fott's uncle Rikishi trained Rusev.
Yeah. So, that could be fun. There's a lot of things you can do with Rusev. It would be interesting to see what happens with him. So I'm excited about that. Other news, someone else that could be returning to WWE. She just recently left AEW, I think, today?
Yes, today.
Soraya posted on X that she's done with AEW. It seemed like it was a partial terms where they both left on good terms. And she went on Booker T's podcast recently and said that she would be open to a return for WWE. I'm excited about this. I think this could be good for her to go back to WWE and have really. I'm not saying it has to be a long one. I would have her have one more real good one, and then I think I would have her train in the PC. Maybe she could be a legend that trains on LFG because I know Michelle McCool is going to take that role, but I feel like that's not going to last long. I feel like having Paige do it would be cool because obviously she's been in the business more recently than Mickey and Michelle have been and stuff like that, and she knows kind of the grind that it takes to make it in the business and everything like that. So I'm excited about this. Because AEW, I think we've talked about this every week. It was pretty much instant, her fall. Honestly, weirdly enough, I think her fall was what caused her debut was kind of when AEW really started to sink, and it has nothing to do with her for the most part. It was just the fact that Tony Khan just did not know what to do with Soraya and all that stuff. But what do you think about that? Soraya being gone from AEW, how her run was in AEW, and then her potentially coming back to WWE as Paige and everything like that.
I like it. I think you could get another run out of her. I don't know how long it's going to last because I don't know how well her body could handle it at this point. She seems to be near the end. I mean, it's kind of weird to say that because she's only 32. But I like the idea of her coming back. I think her talking nice about WWE now is a way for her to get back in the door. I mean, she has talked nice about them in the past. She's been one of the very few who have done the opposite. They leave and they talk shit. She really didn't. But I think a role for her in WWE, other than obviously wrestling, would be maybe a GM role. Maybe she's a lieutenant for Adam Pearce, or being a trainer or a producer, or helping out backstage. I feel like that could be because again, she has a really great mind for the business as she grew up in the business, and she was super young when she started, 14, 15 years old. So she has a great mind for the business, and I think she could be a big help to a lot of the young girls down there, inexperienced women that are down there in NXT. 100%.
Yeah.
I could see her having one more run. A championship match, maybe a championship win, but it wouldn't last very long, I think. And then she, retires, maybe like a la like a Trish Stratus type of retirement where she retires on top.
Yeah, I'd be good.
But she also said that she's taking time off, so maybe not this year, but maybe early next year. Maybe it's just a Royal Rumble appearance. Who knows? But I feel like she'll be back. Yeah, and it could be a good way for her to go, back on to get back in the good graces with WWE and to work backstage and help out.
Yeah, because it didn't really seem like it was working out with AEW.
Well, I think that and I also think that after a while, after she got there, and I think she regretted it because of the way that she was talking so nice about WWE and how helpful they were during some very tough times in her life, that I think she went there thinking that she'd wrestle more. But they obviously didn't value her enough as WWE did, because they still kept her doing backstage and doing the GM role and being a manager and stuff like that, keeping her in the eyes of everyone. Whereas AEW didn't really do that. They picked up the 1-year option on her contract last year that ran through this year, and they didn't use her.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I was afraid that she would get hurt, like doing a simple bump. But like some of the matches that she was wrestling, I thought she was okay. I didn't think that necessarily she looked awful. I mean, she looked very rusty, obviously, because she hadn't wrestled in forever. But I thought she still looked okay.
Yeah, and I just felt like they didn't really know what to do with her because she basically got stuck into the Rampage limbo after a while, too. Like, that weird feud they were doing with Angelo Parker and, like, Ruby Soho. Which was so weird. Yeah, it was so stupid. And it was to the point where I didn't even know... I didn't even know that Ruby Soho and Angela Parker were a real couple until it came out that she was pregnant. That's how badly they did pretending to try to be a couple and everything like that. It was so bad.
They tried to make it seem like there was this on-screen thing, and in reality, they were actually a couple expecting a child together.
Yep. So, you could kind of see the writing on the wall too, because they released Zach. Was it Zach Walker? Is that his name? What's her brother's name? Is it Zach Walker? Or am I getting that wrong? Zach Zodiac, I believe is.
Yeah, it's Zach Zodiac.
I don't know where I got the name Zach Walker from. That's a fucking. I'm just coming up with random fucking names today that don't have anything to do with anything. But yeah, Zach Zodiac. Yeah, he said, they released him, so I think you could kind of see the writing on the wall that she was gonna be out the door pretty soon. So, also some news: we have some more WrestleMania events coming out. We're gonna have some WrestleMania after parties. I don't think we'll see any of these. I think they'll just be like if you're there in attendance, you'll see them. Maybe like we'll.
The WrestleMania, they air it live. I want to see that.
Yeah, the roast of WrestleMania, but
Tony Hitchcliffe.
Say that again.
I'm just saying I'm a huge fan of Tony Hitchcliffe.
But
I want to see that roast.
Yeah, but I think there's gonna be an after dark. They're doing some after dark events that like Charlotte's gonna be there for. I am interested to see what they do for like events, if what's gonna air, because obviously they usually do some fun events. I remember last year they did like that video. They did the video game like tournament last year, which was fun. And then they did like the pizza eating challenge with Almas and
Otis. That was fun.
Yeah. So,
Otis, yeah.
And then so I hope they do some fun challenges type of thing. I remember the video game one was fun because I'm pretty sure like like the Miz was on it, and like he lost in like he lost in like 3 seconds or whatever, and it was really funny. I wanted to see that happen again, type of thing. So I think they can do some fun events next year, this year for WrestleMania. We'll just have to see what they are. Chris might not see any of these. I might not let him watch them though. So because he's in trouble.
Oh,
he isn't. Yeah, he's in trouble. I don't know what you did, but you did something. You always do something. Huh?
Is it because I was talking back?
I mean, you keep thinking Chad Gable is El Grande Americano. I don't know what you're thinking there. So,
I'm thinking the truth.
you're just throwing speculations out there that aren't added up. So, you know.
I'm just speculations that's the truth.
You and Michael Cole, you just have these weird... I get the Dom thing. I get, like, the John Cena stuff, I guess. But this one is just... You know, the facts aren't adding up for you. I mentioned all the facts, and you just won't sit down and think about them. You're just instantly shutting them down. So we have to do something about this.
Illusion.
But yeah, I think that's the end of the show. Any other news that we have to talk about, or is that the end of the show right here?
One more thing. Mariah May's contract is coming up.
Okay. Yeah.
There are strong reports that some people have seen that it's coming up in the summer, so she could be out and on her way to Stamford, Connecticut to sign a very long-term contract.
And that's obviously been the long-term goal for her anyways, you know, when she started her YouTube channel and mentioned that she wanted to get to WWE and all that type of stuff. I kind of hope this is the case too, because I feel like she's getting out at a good time because she went and was a part of like the big storyline there, and I think now that that's over, I think she's just gonna like slide down the card pretty immediately. So I hope, you know, I think she's getting out at a good time. I think she'll probably do the Owen Hart tournament again, and then I don't think we'll see. And then if her contract's up, we probably won't see you again on AEW. So. And I feel like she could also be like her own character now and everything like that. Like her character in AEW was really not that great.
It wasn't.
So we'll see what happens. But anything else before we get out of here?
Eat.
Is there anything you want to plug or promote before we get out of here? Or do you think you got nothing? You got nothing to plug?
I got nothing.
We're going to start the WrestleMania retros. Chris and I picked some Manias. We're going to do 17, not 18 because we already did that one. We're going to do 17, 20, 33, 34, and 35 and 36. And they'll be interesting. And then we have a...
In the last two.
Huh?
Drastic comparison between the last two.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to get that going. We might film
one with a packed stadium one night, and the next year no fans 2 nights.
Yep. So it'll be
the first ever 2-night WrestleMania.
Yep. And then there is a retro that I still have to upload at the time of recording this. Michael Lex and I reviewed the Wrestling Summit where All Japan Pro Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and WWF all did work together to do a show. We did that one. And that's pretty much it. Obviously, on the Talkinator, check out all the stuff there. We have 2 more episodes left of Season 2 of Yellow Jackets. And then we're going to do some other stuff and then do Season 3. But that's pretty much it, guys. And we will talk to you guys later. Okay.